Yeah, let's just get right into it because we've been gone for a while again, and this time it wasn't my fault. I don't think it was my fault. It wasn't my. Was it my fault? It wasn't my fault. One might have been my fault. It
I
was
think one
probably.
was your fault.
Let's just all take
I think.
equal, one each.
Yeah, I think Jerry should take part of this fault.
Yeah. No.
Even though
Yeah. You know what? I will take this one because
even,
it was because Kevin was visiting, so I invited that fucker over, and
that's right. You guys
everything
had
just went to shit.
You guys had a super secret get together, and I was not invited, nor did I know about it. I found out
did.
about it when I was like, "Hey, you guys wanna do a podcast today?" And you're like, "Oh, well, this is awkward. We can't.
I mean,
we're too busy. We're too busy hanging out."
we didn't want to tell you that you were the uncool kid, but you had to find out someday.
Everybody knows I'm the uncool kid. Joke's on you.
It's
Hey,
not
so
technically a wrong story, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just gonna have my own podcast. Screw you guys. I'm gonna sit here and drink this lovely bottle of wine. That's called 19 Crimes. It's a Cabernet. That's right. I splurged. This might have been as much as this might have been as much as like $9.
I had one of those once.
What, $9? That must have been nice.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I wish I had $9, but in this economy, thanks, Joe Biden. Anyway, Jerry, what are you drinking? Since we can never ever see what you're actually drinking.
Yes. Well, I have a koozie on it, so you wouldn't see it anyway. But it's a half and half spiked iced tea.
Hang on. Did you say a koozie?
Yeah.
He did. I heard it.
You mean a cozy?
Koozie.
No, they're called koozies.
What the hell's a koozie?
It's the foam.
Is that how like Italians
thing?
Say? Oh,
that goes around
it's me koozie. No, what is it?
It's the thing that goes around your beer to keep it hot or cold.
It's called a koozie? Have I been mispronouncing it my entire life?
Yes, you have.
They're not called cozies?
I think we're naming brands.
I'm going to need somebody to step in there because there's no way. There's no way. I mean, there's a way. I say a lot of dumb shit all the time, so there's definitely a way. But really? No, they're called beer. No, they're called beer cozies. You know what?
I think koozie is like a brand of beer cozies.
You mean beer cozy is a type of beer koozie?
Oh my god.
I don't know. I feel like you're doing this on purpose, and I totally didn't hear what you were actually drinking. I'm sorry, Jerry. What do you have in your koozie?
So it's a half and half spike iced tea with some peach squeeze in it. It's good stuff.
Wait, when you say half and half iced tea, what do you mean? Like
remember a couple of episodes back I was talking about the Dunkin' Donuts spiked iced tea?
Oh,
yeah, and this
I really don't.
Yeah.
But
I'll forward you the episode since you were kind enough to upload them to YouTube. You can easily rewatch
Hey, update.
Speaking of which, if you're watching this, we are on YouTube. We put all our episodes on YouTube. You can probably find us. Could I post a link? Sure. Am I going to? Nah, I'm lazy.
According to AI,
oh god,
a beer cozy, also known as a koozie, stubby holder, or can cooler, is a sleeve.
You say a stubby holder? No.
Yes.
My hand is a stubby holder. I don't understand what's like. You're gonna need to be more specific.
Post a big link, but because I don't know how
real
to shorten
cozy
it,
there.
There's like Google stuff too.
I'm not clicking on that.
A beer koozie, Koozie, also known as a koozie, Coozie, or can cooler, is a fabric or foam sleeve that insulates a beverage can or beer bottle.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong. There is a koozie and there's a cozy, and they're essentially the same thing.
It's just synonyms.
Yeah. Okay. So it's a tie.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a koozie. I'm sorry. I win, I think.
No. This is going to be one of those things where we'll never go.
It's like in one side of the country they say soda, and
I will not back
somewhere
down.
else they say pop.
Yeah, those people that say pop need to be shot. That's just wrong.
I agree. I agree. It's a soda. If you call it a pop, go back to the 50s. Fuck you. It's not a pop. No. I'm sorry. Yeah. If the boomers had not done enough damage, I'll be damned if I let them butcher, even more of the English language. It's called a fucking soda. Kevin, speaking of which, what are you drinking? I can't see because your thing is blown out and foggy and whatever.
It's a Founder's Sweet Repute.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
What's
Founders is good.
It's a
Founders
wheat
is really
wine
good. What's repeat?
style. Fuck, not enough light. Old eyes. Wheat wine style.
Wheat wine? That sounds interesting.
Yeah, I
I
don't
can't
think
read
I've
the
ever
word
heard.
actually. With maple syrup,
Whoa.
Interesting.
aged
It
in
sounds
bourbon
like
barrels.
it sounds more
An
like
imperial.
a mead than anything
Maybe.
else.
Could be.
Mm.
It's yummy.
That sounds delicious beer. That's something would be nice on a cold winter day. You just
Yeah.
snuggle up and with a nice beer, with a nice thick blanket, and get all cozy. That sounds really sweet.
hmm
It's pronounced cozy, you fucker. Anyway, um, mm. So Kevin, before you jumped on, Jerry and I were having Jerry and I had a conversation and we made a bet. So I have a question for you. Are you uh, are you familiar with lemonparty.org or
No.
.com? I don't forget if it's .com or .org. Do you know what a lemon
Lemon
party
party?
is?
No.
Do you know what a lemon party is? Shit.
I
No.
win
lost that.
again.
How do you guys
Wow,
not
I
know what
wanna win.
I must
lemonparty.org is?
now do a
Do not.
search.
No, you do not. No. Stop. Do not do a search. Do not do a search.
His face is smiling,
No,
even if it's
no,
fake.
I am not going to be responsible for that flag on
Oh,
your
should I
computer.
just guess? All right, fine, sure.
So you know, what, I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a little
No,
clue.
I think
It's
I
obviously
understand. Sure,
it's obviously
it's one of
sex.
those.
It's
Yeah,
not
sure.
sex. It's sex related. Now,
It's pretty easy to
when
figure
you
out.
okay, go ahead. You know what? No, I'm not going to say anything. Go ahead, smart guy. What do you think it is? I don't think you're going to get it. Don't Google it. Stop Googling it.
I'm not googling anything. I'm eating mango.
All right. So if you were to guess, what do you think a sex-based website that's called Lemon Party entails?
I mean, maybe like, you know, urine fetish or something like that.
No, but that's actually a good guess, and I totally see how your mind, went there. But no, it is not. I mean, it might have urine-related stuff on it, but that is not. It is not a urine-focused website per se.
All right, so then I
Any other
actually
guess?
can't guess. It's
All
not
right,
as
fair enough.
Yes,
obvious as I thought
Kevin.
it was.
Yeah.
I will give you a clue then. Stereotypically, when you suck on a lemon, right? Like what happens?
You squint,
You get,
You prune up a
that
little bit,
sour
right?
pucker up.
Yeah, you pucker up and prune up a little
Mhm.
bit.
Sure.
What else that we know that sort of pruny and puckered?
Maybe a certain sphincter.
No. Although again, you know what? I'm just going to tell you. It's a website where old people fuck. Like
Oof.
geriatric. It's a website for geriatric sex.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
I would have never gotten that from
Oh, I'm sorry.
either the
I'm
name
sorry.
or your description of
I should clarify.
puckering up.
Right. It's not geriatric sex. It's geriatric sex. So don't get excited, Jerry. It's not. It's just old people
Oh,
fucking. I'm sorry.
God.
It's not
Why
all
am I
about.
I
even
mean,
here?
so what though? Like, what's the point? Like, let them have their fucking fun. Who cares?
No,
All I'm
no.
just
That's
seeing is like this camera from one angle and like balls flopping all over the left
Yeah.
to the right, up
no,
and down.
no.
You're
There's no
you're
s-
just. I
there's
mean,
no-
essentially, there's just some kink shaming going on.
There's
Right
no. It's I was about to say. There's no kink shaming. There's no sex shaming. Old people have every right to go to town on each other. That's God bless them.
You
If I
just
have
don't
that
wanna
kind of
see it.
energy when I'm that age, yeah, I just don't want to watch it. And that's fine. That's a me thing. Some people like it, but whatever. But what I wasn't surprised by the fact that this website exists. I was genuinely surprised that neither one of you has ever heard of it. Because first of all, it's
Why would just okay, we're like 5 or 6 years older than you. That's not
no,
that much.
no,
Jesus Christ,
no,
man.
no.
Wow.
No, I don't mean like you didn't get the invite in the mail. I meant like, oh, here's my monthly issue of AARP and what's this lemonparty.org thing? No, what I mean is that it's a cultural thing. Like it's common, it is a mainstream topic to the point where shows
Is
have
it? I've
yes, shows have made fun of it. Like they always sneak in jokes about it. One of my favorite jokes ever. Do you guys remember the show 30 Rock?
hmm
Yeah, I never
I didn't
watched
watch
it,
that
but
show, but I know about it.
Okay, so the main character's name, I forget. Actually, funny, I don't remember her first name, but her last name was Lemon, right? So at some point, um, she went to like a party or a get together that involved her father, and her father's name is Richard, and they're partying together, and something I forget what triggers the thing, but basically I'm surprised they got away with it. He just turns around and says to her, "It's not a lemon party without old Dick," because his name is Richard.
I
Well,
get it.
yeah,
I
so
get
like
it.
that. Yeah. So joke like I can't believe that NBC let that go, but whatever. Anyway, so yes, it has mainstream presence, which is why I'm surprised you didn't hear about it. That's it. Just that. That's my
Okay.
that's my right. Anyway, okay, so moving on to other things. I had a whole bunch of things I want to talk about. But before anything, there was some breaking news today. Well, it's not really breaking news. But a story that caught my eye was and I said this to you guys, and you claim that you both have some understanding of this, and I would like some. Apparently, there's a story going around, a theory that there is remnants of an alien planet inside the Earth
Yeah.
because a long, long, long time ago, another planet, a Mars-sized planet, crashed into Earth. That planet's name was shit. I forgot. Was it Thea?
Thera.
Thea?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Hang
So
on,
this was back.
hang on. I want to look. I want to get the name right here. Hang on a second. Blah 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 blah. Thea, Theia. A planet Thea or Thea crashed into Earth, um, damaged it, or they both got damaged. One of the results of this crash was apparently the formation of our moon, and then other things. So I have a few questions. Let me just put the questions out there so that you know the level of stupidity that you're working with when you try to answer them. My question is A, how did both planets not get obliterated? B, if Thea seemingly got obliterated, where like what happened to it? Why did Earth survive? Why did Thea apparently not? Or did they basically both break up and then reform again? Is that what the article was trying to say? And
So well, go
and you
on.
know what? No, that's actually no. I'll have probably more questions, but let's start there.
So when the solar system and everything was forming, back when all the planets were young,
Yeah,
there
yes.
was
So like 3,000
this.
years ago, right?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
This planet that's smaller than Earth, but
When you say smaller,
you know, like
when you
not
talk about
maybe like I don't know, but maybe like 50% of its
well,
size or
it says
mass, I should
it's
say
it says
mass.
it's Mars sized. Isn't Mars almost the same size as Earth?
No, you're thinking about Venus. Mars is significantly
Mars is about half
smaller.
the size of Earth.
Okay, so there you go. So this thing
Mars.
was half the size of Mars.
That'll give you. I figured I
So
was gonna
yeah.
try and guess, but I figured it'd just be super easy to ask AI.
Oh, thank you. So I
Yeah, thank
was I
you.
was I was right. Um so anyway, this other planet hit Earth, and yes, it was catastrophic for both of them. And like effectively, so what happened was this Thea hit Earth, like huge bits of each of them were thrown everywhere, uh, and a significant portion of it was still orbiting Earth, and that became the moon. So because we wouldn't have the moon if this collision didn't
Yeah, yeah.
happen, or
And
at
as
least
far
the
as moons
moon
go,
of is a significant size.
Right.
the moon,
And
Earth's moon, is actually remarkably large for it
yes,
to be unstable, and I think it has to do with the geosynchronous orbit about it, meaning the moon's size. The face of the moon is always facing Earth. In other words, how do you explain this right?
it's the
Well, it's
its
geosynchronous.
orbital period is the same as its rotational period.
Okay, thank you. Um,
Okay.
uh, but like we're talking
So that's
about
why we
really
only see one side
early
of the
solar
moon.
system creation. We're talking about like blobby planets. like molten,
Yeah.
or just drying shell planets, and then something
Oh, okay.
crashes into it, so it's like sort of
Yeah.
like, let's say, more liquid fluid dynamics,
Hmm.
where they kind of like spin and warp, and you get, the splatter out, and then the moon is sort of gets created at the same time. Does that make sense? We're
It
not
does, because
talking
that would
about
also
like
explain
what we
how
think
part of
of.
it. Right. It would also
Yeah.
explain how part of it is inside the Earth's core. Not
Right.
core.
Exactly.
Crust. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. They
Okay.
sort
We've
of like, yeah, it's like it's, let's imagine, I'm going to make an analogy because it's the best way I can think to imagine it. Whatever the other planet was made out of was significantly different material to sort of burn and shell itself into like a blob, and you have to sort of like think the rest of it was just fluid dynamics settling into position as it dried.
What
So
happened to
they're
the rest of
saying,
it?
well, I mean, who knows? I can't say definitively because I haven't studied the topic, but it could have been
Was
like
it
part
was
of
it
the
like
asteroid field.
was it billiards? Did it just like bounce off Earth and go fly somewhere else?
No, I think it
Yeah,
was more
they
molten.
don't. I don't think they know for sure.
Of course, but I think
But
they can time it. I think
So is this
you
like
can
something you guys
timeline it.
will? Is this like something you guys were already aware of? Is this like something? Is this
well, the
did I
whole
send that article and you're
Thea
like, yeah?
hitting the whole Thea hitting the Earth. Yes, that's been common knowledge for a long time.
Right.
The
Right. Yeah.
thing that
No,
you sent,
taught knowledge for a long time.
yeah.
Right. Okay.
So in certain science classes, if you went through that kind of curriculum, you could get it through high school.
I went to public school.
Right.
Um, the the thing that you sent yesterday, like I watched a video on this last week. They're
You mean
basically
you mean
just
today?
what?
That was today.
Yeah, the you sent again. I saw something on that last week.
Oh.
That article might have been from today, but who knows if they watched the same thing. But
Oh. I see. I thought you said
basically,
something. I got you.
it's just saying that now they've detected these blobs they thought would have kind of mixed up with the rest of the earth and become homogeneous over the last like 4.5 billion years,
Hmm.
but that hasn't happened. They were surprised to see these like clumps of different matter, different densities, whatever. Kevin explained it pretty well. But it's like, so imagine the inside of the earth is like a lava lamp, and like the oil is earth's specific matter, a specific density or range and everything, and then you have the wax, which is like a totally different density or material, mineral or whatnot. And it's not something crazy. It's not like fucking unobtainium or what's the other shit from Wakanda. It's nothing like that. It's just, oh, this is more nickel dense and this is more iron dense, like something like that.
Okay.
Vibranium. That's it.
Damn it.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's what I
it's
was
not.
googling. That's what I was
It's
googling.
not. Wasn't a vibranium planet that hit Earth.
Gotcha. So why is it if it was something that was known? Why are we just now? Did they just now find actual traces of it, or
I
is it
think.
something?
I think. Yeah, that's the
Why?
news.
Why?
Why?
Why only now?
I don't know. Maybe better seismic equipment. I honestly don't
Yeah,
know.
I wasn't trying to stir up like
no, no.
a
It's definitely
conspiracy theory. I was
implied
just
that
curious. Yeah.
technology has improved and they've discovered new information that they've never discovered before. But it's got to be supported by, let's just broadly say, current technology, and
Yeah.
like who's spending money to research what is a big part of that too.
So somebody asked an interesting question, and I wonder if there's a possibility of any validity to it. Somebody asked, "Whoa, so what if, like, life on this planet actually originally came from, like, not that life came from specifically that planet, but what if
Right.
technically
Yeah.
the stuff of stars? Okay, sorry, I just read literally a kid's book to my daughter's falling asleep.
Yeah.
But like what?
Panspermia. You're
Like
talking
what?
about.
Yes, that's what I was talking
And
about.
that's
That
been speculated that the possibility for that, has been, I mean, science fiction wise, plenty of times, but now with like some of the newer telescopes like James Webb and everything, they're finding more and more, like they'll find organic molecules just in like a fucking nebula cloud out there somewhere. So like
Well, hold on.
more and more they.
They've actually found organic material at this point.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Not like not living, but like the kind of
Kind of,
stuff
Carbon
yeah.
that
and
could make.
and other stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, we're here. Like, think about you. You can connect us like living right now, talking on the computer, to everything you've learned about like going backwards in time, like studying where we came from, evolution, blah blah blah, and like you get into geological and solar system forming and all those kind of things. But my point is, we're here now, right? So you can kind of travel through all the different academic studies to get to this point. So it's not hard to sort of like kind of sort of just say like, well, we're here now. That's almost sort of proof. Like, in other words, we're doing research. The discovery is us learning about different things and correlating, you know, maths and error proofs and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the whole point of science, right?
Yeah,
So all I'm
okay.
saying is we're sort of learning about how we are exist today, and like to have new scanners and studies go around like, oh, there's this different composition within the planet, and like here's the moon. You sort of gather all of them together, and it builds that story that it's like, oh, it seems like we're on the right path to learning it, but we haven't like wherever you ask those questions, those are great questions because it's like it's actually not that easy to just actually know for sure if that makes any sense. Like the two of
Yeah.
us are sort of just gathering bits that we happen to know and say like, oh, it makes total sense from that perspective.
Right. No, it's interesting stuff. I also find it interesting with the different things we contribute. You guys actually are explaining, uh, the formation of the universe, while while I had to explain to you that there's a website world people fuck. Great. This is a very balanced podcast.
We'll manage expectations.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. But okay. So I mean, it's cool that like I appreciate it. Like I read this and my jaw was on the floor. I was like, oh my god. And it's nice to hear like people actually bring more grounded and more sane take on this. Basically, like kind of like, yeah, dude, this is a known thing. Like we're studying it. It's to me it's just like, oh my god, there's an alien planet and part of it is stuck in this side of the earth. Holy shit.
But
This is
you're
the
not
whole.
wrong. I mean, I think
It's
that's pretty
Hollow Earth all
universal to
over
me.
again.
It is freaking
Yeah,
awesome.
it is. That's pretty
Oh
freaking
yeah,
cool.
and like
Yeah.
the fact that Kevin and I like know all this stuff is testament to the fact that oh, this is interesting. And there's, if you are interested in it, there's some great science that's coming out, and every day they're finding new planets in other systems and analyzing the spectra of the atmosphere to see what elements are in it and if there's like liquid water on it and all sorts of stuff like that.
Okay.
Like there's conjecture that there's life around like Jupiter and Saturn on the icy moons, because they're basically like huge oceans, like miles and miles deep. And they're protected by this layer of ice that's a mile or two thick, or something, maybe several miles thick on the outside, but on the inside, because they're so close to these giant planets, the inside is actually hot, and
Okay.
from all the tidal forces pulling on these planets that on their rocky cores, these moons. So the tidal forces heat up the rock and like keep these planets geologically active. That heats up the water, so there are these liquid oceans out there, and people think that life kind of started in our oceans, especially around the thermal vents on the ocean floor. So they're speculating, why can't this be like this on on those moons? So, and they're even working on probes to send out there. Like they need to figure out a way to melt their way through the ice and like put a camera or something down there. So there's
More
really
likely
interesting
instruments,
stuff
but
out there.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, there's
right.
interesting
Something.
articles where they discovered an ocean under our crust, the Earth's crust. Like, so we have oceans and all of the
Right.
continents and all of those crusts, and then somewhere deeper still was a bigger ocean, like more volume of water than there is on the entire surface, which is like, what the fuck? So,
Oh, it's that hollow Earth thing. There you go.
but it's only a small bubble. Like it's hard to appreciate this actual size of the Earth and how much like the water is only like you have to picture a huge circle with so much more mass underneath the water, even
Right.
knowing how deep the water is.
Right. Right. Yeah.
But anyway,
That's
like
crazy.
these are just people with like certain kind of scanners and it echoes a certain way and blah blah blah, and it's like, wow, we have with like reasonable confidence that it must be like this because it's the similar kind of signature that water has over here. That's
Hmm.
all that it is, really.
Oh, okay. All right. Well then, this segues into a question that I had. I feel like every week, sorry, not every week, but every time we have a podcast, I'm going to ask a question about that's related to um, Project Hail Mary, which I'm almost
Oh,
done.
oh my
Oh,
God,
nice.
where are you? Oh my God, I'm excited to hear where you are
You're
in the book.
you're way too excited about that. You're going to be very disappointed.
Oh,
I am at a part where am I? Hang on a second. So Rocky almost died. Oh, by the way, if you want to read the book, spoilers. So he's back now. And what did oh they just oh he they just found that the I forget what he named him, the predator that actually eats the astrophage got into all the fuel and ate all their fuel.
mm-hmm.
I'm,
Oh,
I'm
right.
I'm at that part. So I already have a few questions about that book, but here's one that I don't know why. So there's a couple things that bother me, and I'm gonna leave one question to the very end because I think there might be an explanation. But one thing for some reason I that really didn't make sense to me, and that's understandable since I don't get any of this stuff. But when he's talking to Rocky, one of the things that he finds out is that everyone in Rocky's crew died because they were exposed to radiation, and because of the makeup of their planet, because of how their planet is. He explains that they had such protection from the sun, from their sun's radiation, that they never knew what radiation was. So when they got out into space, they were completely unprepared for it, and they all were exposed to it and died, except for him because whatever, he was in a different part of the ship. So my question is, how could they possibly constructed spacecraft that can go to other suns and not like how could they not know about radiation? Like we have found things in space that we don't have here on the Earth, things that we were prepared to be exposed to once we left the Earth's atmosphere. How is it possible that they developed a space program and had no idea about radiation, which is one of the biggest things that actually radiates from the fucking sun? Like how is that how is that logically
So
possible?
let me say it this way.
Like it's not the first
If
starship that it's not like they built one starship that left that left their solar system and went to a different
yeah.
sun. They must have done other flights, so they must have come across radiation before.
So first of all, Jerry, I'll go slow and like I can't. I want to
It's
make
really more for
sure.
my benefit.
Yeah, I want to make no, not like that. I want to make sure I don't spoil anything you haven't read yet.
Wait, he read Project Hail Mary.
He did.
Oh,
He
you
read
mean
the
his
whole
book?
thing, but
He's
Oh, you
if
mean
talking
I
his book?
about
try to
Right,
like,
explain this and I pull
right.
information I know from forward in the book, like please call
yeah.
me out on it, because I'm gonna
I
totally,
will.
I'm gonna kind of
I'll
talk general.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I'll
think the
try, but I don't
yeah.
know if I have all the timeline down that well in my head currently.
So what he did, what I found awesome about this book was the way he described how it would be like to experience existence as this kind of alien, right?
Hmm.
So what am I talking about? They didn't have eyes.
Right.
So imagine an entirely blind society. There is no light. There is no electromagnetism. There is
Okay.
no anything like that. They um okay, I don't want to get into other stuff. So basically my point is he does throughout the entire book this sort of scientific imagination of what it would be like to perceive existence as if you were Rocky. And they describe him, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm not going to say that part. So it's like their technology is different because it's an extrapolation from like a core reality. You know what I mean? Imagine
Okay.
not having eyes ever
Right.
because of either you know it already or you'll find out later conditions of their planet and how they grew. Um, you're you're actually sort of he brings you in a journey from the human's perspective where he's exposed to this weird situation. He's trying to be creatively like troubleshoot and how do I understand like holy shit that's a ship, the recognition
Mhm.
that oh my god there's an alien species and I'm first contact, to like showing up with an entirely different type of sensory array. Their
Okay.
bodies are totally different. So from the perspective of a human, troubleshooting like that first encounter with the wall, and they if you remember how they explained it, it's actually kind of quite genius. The essentially what they say is they had no idea to understand the human. So when the human is looking around, he's seeing shapes, and then he spectrographically studies the material, and he's like, "Wow, it's the same material but slightly different alloys." Until he notices that there's windows. You remember that scene?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So what
Yeah.
it's describing is humans have biological receptacles for electromagnetism, whereas the alien doesn't. And what it did was it knew that sort of materialistic world where it like let's say on a molecular level they knew how to manipulate molecules to shift a single material through like a ton of different alloy isotopes. So it's like what they were saying was that was a supreme knowledge of a totally different kind of technology. Like humans
Okay.
don't understand how to do that with material. Like that was
Right.
phenomenal. So you
Hmm.
you have this the author is basically showing you how they have super technology in one kind of way because it was evolved that way based on perceptions of reality.
Okay.
It's as if like if you met someone and they were like, what do you mean you can't just see neutrinos flying through the, like you probably would never know that existed
But radiation
unless you
isn't.
had like crazy technology
But
to
but
see
but
it.
uh, right. But radiation isn't something our sight, our senses do not give us the ability to pick up radiation.
Yeah, well, no,
Technically, light is, just it's kind of the same thing.
no,
It's
it is.
just
It's
yeah.
absolutely the same thing. It's a small spectrum of electromagnetism. It's the visible spectrum, right? The eye has like the biological components that fire the nerves, and that's what we like interpret. So, in other words, we have eyes that were literally evolved into our current state of physical form, our human being, our human condition, right? We see things.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is, as he describes the alien, they never had a biological method of actually detecting anything electromagnetic. They um maybe it was inverted and they had a magnetic type of sensory organ. I actually can't remember, so I'm just pure hypothetical. But like my point is, they described like this dense creature that with material that was like anatomically close to xenon, if I can remember. Oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay away from details.
No. That was right. That was already mentioned. That was one of the biggest things about them, about that he discovers about him.
So okay, so
Xenon
like
stuff.
right, so that's like a technology. So what it means is their material science, like geological and understanding what to touch. When they get to, if they haven't already, when Rocky describes the planet they grew up on, they're talking about a very well, without the specifics, it's very interesting as they describe the actual planet that they evolved to be sentient from. You know what I mean? Like you just he's trying to explain an alien sentience, like an intelligence, but its knowledge base is going to be totally different because it'll evolve the quote unquote technology is what they experience around them and then create in order to, let's say, survive better.
Right, but wouldn't they have already explored space to a degree? Wouldn't they have come across um,
Uh,
radiation to at least in some form?
I have thoughts about that.
There are things that that don't exist on the earth, and there's things that we do not perceive, and things that we do not have natural senses to pick up and recognize, that we find and discover as we venture farther out from the earth. So it seems strange to me. It's almost like if you said, well, they went to space and they didn't know there was no oxygen there, and they all suffocated to death. Like, that's radiation is
No,
a very
so
prominent
think
thing in
about it this
space.
way.
It's not like it's sort of just out there floating around. Radiation exposure is a very big thing once you're out of the atmosphere. Not the atmosphere, but wait
It
a second.
is kind of
So,
just
right.
floating around out there.
Right. So it's like it's
But
strange to me that like they didn't discover it until they traveled
It could
but
hundreds
have
what
of
if
light
it
years
been.
from
doesn't
their planet.
naturally harm
Yeah.
them? Why would they even realize
But
it's
it did.
there?
But it does. It killed them. It killed his whole crew.
So what? Okay, there is a thing. There is a sequence of explanation or either a narrative moments, and I can't. I don't want to talk to this sort of detail, but he does explain how the planet and their
The planet was
like
completely
between the
shielded from
planet's
radiation.
conditions and their
Right.
biological evolution, it didn't
Right.
exist to them as a
Right.
concept. So
Right.
like I could, knowing the entire book, I can piece all of that together and explain it, but I think I'm actually I don't want to talk about some details that may not have been explained yet because the author
Okay.
is trying to guide you through an exploratory process through different avenues of science, like scientific concepts.
Okay. Let me ask you this: if we sent um, people into space, right, with absolutely no radiation shielding whatsoever today, right? If we just, let's say, send, like, not even to the moon, but
Hmm.
just like
Yeah,
in an orbit on Earth, wouldn't they all die of radiation exposure?
yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
so why?
You
Right.
know
So
how
why?
I figured
So
that out, right?
well, hold on a second. But so why didn't that happen? So when they send initial crews into space, because again, there's no way this is the first ship they ever built. What happened? Why didn't they all die from radiation? And why didn't they realize what was happening? Even if they had, even if they had advanced protection from radiation on their planet, it didn't look like it wasn't anything that was part of their biology. In fact, it would have been the opposite because they were so protected from it. They would have been very weak to it when actually exposed to it without the protection of their atmosphere. Then why wouldn't, as soon as they left that protection on their initial space flights, wouldn't entire crews have already been like
See,
dropping dead left and
there's
right?
literally a spot in the book where he explains it, and I
There
don't
is. I just
know
don't
if you
understand it.
missed
That's why
it
I
or
don't.
if you didn't get to it yet.
I think I didn't understand. No, he covered it, I reread that part, and I don't like. He
Just
does
explain it,
explain it.
Kevin.
He
Okay,
tried to explain it, and I
so
didn't understand it.
basically the way it goes is they lived essentially at the bottom of like an incredibly dense atmosphere or
Right.
possibly even in I don't think it was even fluid. It was just dense like carbon gas. It's like a gas giant.
Hmm.
I don't remember exactly what they said, but their evolution started at the bottom of that, and a lot of like their blood is ammonia. there's an entirely different kind of biology going on here. So it's like he runs you through all these different scientific concepts between like the high pressure internal organs and the need to like temperature regulate, and then to need to exist in a very high pressure type of environment. Essentially what they're saying is 100% of any kind of damaging radiation, even like no radiation made it to their existence on their planet. And their entire biology revolved around uh, the way their own body was structured in terms of resisting pressure. So it's dense, um, almost like steam forced ammonia type of like internals, and they like literally biologically operate, I believe, at very high temperature.
Okay.
So like you have this creature that's got an entirely different biology, right? So and he goes through all these cool narratives and explanations because that was like what really was fantastic about, like The Martian was like everything's explained away, scientific mumbo jumbo, right? But it's not
Right.
mumbo jumbo. It's actually
Right.
legitimate little, thread ends that he does like this extrapolation game into different
Mhm.
directions. It's sci-fi. So
Right.
everything's sort of got the basis. So he goes through the biology, he goes through the planet, he goes through the physics. And then essentially what he's saying is they had no idea when they would like, if their conscious awareness was just like, here's a solid with this, nasty density, and this is like slightly more fluid. So we're just going to figure out how to leave, you know, gravity, the hold, like whatever their G was that they experienced, they found a way to like spit themselves out of their planet through
Mhm.
whatever rocket science. They go into space, and the only one that is safe is the guy that was in what let's say a shielded area because of the physics of their engine. So he's
Okay.
in, his own stasis, and he wakes up and he's like, all my comrades were dead, and I'm only alive by a freak accident.
But
He's
Right.
the
No,
scientist. He actually learns
but
almost like
this
the
wasn't
human
their first.
does.
But this
What?
wasn't their first and only flight. This isn't the first time they left their atmosphere. What happened to
I
other
think he
crews that
explains
were
it in like I don't remember the details, but I know he had like a reason why they went to sleep thinking they'd be okay, and they forgot um you know he basically says they forgot this one thing. And
right?
if you're knowledgeable in academia, science academia, like, oh shit, of course. So when I got to that moment, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I don't remember exactly the little nugget that explained it away for me.
I think it's something I have to go back and read. I think it's something that I just misunderstood. I was and I'm acknowledging that. I mean, I realize it's something I misunderstood. I just thought that maybe there was
I'll give you
I
another
don't
one.
know,
They
like
didn't
other
even
things that
know what general relativity was. That was like another
yeah,
key.
that was interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. The fact that he didn't know what the theory of relativity was, that was kind of
But
cool.
do you realize like the whole
Like
he
he didn't know about the
imagined,
space. Like he didn't
yeah,
understand how time changed back on planet. Yeah, that was really cool. I like that part.
and the author uses that as a way to prove they don't have, excuse me, had no idea what electromagnetism is. If you don't know what the speed of light is and you see how it changes around like gravity situations, you would have never studied what Einstein did.
Right. So that part actually was kind of questionable to me too. I also didn't really understand how they possibly could have not known. Overall, I thought, and again, I will acknowledge this due to my own lack of understanding of this stuff. I thought it was a little
It's not common knowledge. I'm not like
far.
trying to paint this
It
as
was
like
no,
common
and it's
sense.
no. Oh no, not at all. No, not at all. This is very advanced stuff. What I meant is that I was there was quite a few parts in the book where he's explaining the limitations that Rocky's race um was subject to, and the entire time I was like, but how the hell did they possibly achieve the same trip as humanity did when humanity is clearly so far ahead? Like he even says at some point, he says their space program is basically where we were like in the 60s or the 70s. In the 60s or 70s, there's no way we could have built a spaceship to go to a different solar system. So how the fuck did they do it?
He explains it because they have scientific strengths that humans don't.
So that's what I took it as, basically. Yeah, it's almost like like they shouldn't have made it, but they almost accidentally, they kind of failed upwards a little bit in a way.
Mhm.
Mm,
No,
okay,
okay, no,
that's okay. That's the
that's
problem.
oversimplifying. That's
It's not
oversimplifying it.
failed.
It just
It's
it's the
it's
fact that
exemplifying a different path. Sorry.
they failed. I'm sorry, like we failed, like humans failed in certain ways as far as space travel is concerned. They failed in other ways, but we both failed just short of stopping us from achieving the goal, basically. Like we made mistakes, but those mistakes were not enough to basically impede our progress
I
to
think
a
it's
certain
not the
degree.
mistakes. It's from
Well,
a
no, it's not mistakes.
scientific
I'm sorry. It's
perspective, it's
lack of.
like it
There's only
wasn't
so much.
focused.
I was gonna say it's just there's only so much that we know. Yeah, it wasn't a mistake. That was the wrong word to use. I just meant we didn't know certain things. We weren't prepared for certain things, and neither were they. But it was just enough to basically get us to this. It was enough to bring these two species together, but they got there in very different ways. Basically, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good point because
Yeah.
obviously he was the only human to survive too, and we thought we had it
Right.
down.
Yes, and that's actually it's funny. I was literally just thinking that same thing, and that actually is a very good point that you just hit on. You could choose if you were looking at this from the other perspective, we could say, how could they possibly think that they would all survive? How could they not be properly prepared for this trip? Of course, of course, they were all probably gonna die. It's a miracle that one guy made it, and it's the same thing as if you look at Rocky's situation. It's a miracle that one of them made it, since they overlooked a very major problem.
That's exactly it.
So,
That
yeah,
was,
it's
I think that one point alone might have been like one of the largest appeals of the book.
yeah. Now I feel like an idiot for actually missing that. That is exactly the fact that yeah, I can't. Actually I'm embarrassed that I missed that part of it. The fact that yes, they both suffered from the same thing. They both lost their crews. They both it was indicative of the limitations of each species. That only one crew member survived in either case. Anyway, it's a cool book.
Wait till you get to the
Re-
end.
Oh, I can't wait. I am according to my e-reader, I am 80% through the book.
Yeah, I kind of want to reread it now.
I do have another question, but like I said, I want to get to the end of it before I do. It's one of those things that's kind of nagging at me, but I know again, it's something that I sort of, but I have a feeling if I get an answer to that question, it might actually ruin the end of the book. So it
Well,
has to.
you could ask the question and we could just be like, mm-hmm.
Okay, fine, fair enough. All right. So here's my question,
Poker
right?
face.
The fact that they were actually, maybe I'm overthinking it. Maybe there's actually a very simple answer to this. So the reason it was a suicide mission for him was, if I understood correctly, was because they only had so much astrophage to put in the ship to get them to the destination, to get to the other solar system, do the research, and then send those beetles back to Earth with the data that they gathered, right? So the fuel was the issue, right? So, but he was traveling to a solar system that had almost an unlimited amount of astrophage. Why couldn't they have figured out a way for them to literally collect more, or possibly actually even grow, since they found how they could get them to reproduce? Why? Yeah, it seemed like there was access to enough astrophage to possibly get him back home. Why did it have to be a suicide mission for them? Like they had access to astrophage. They were going to a place
Do
where there
you
was
do
no
you want us
convection.
to answer that, or
It
because
does it
we
ruin the
just
end
like?
or not?
Mhm. No, I don't think so. I
Okay, well
mean,
then yes.
if I remember properly, it was I thought it was like just a resource. Like even though they were doing suspended animation and everything, I thought there still wasn't. Um, yeah, I don't remember. I
Yeah,
thought it was
I
something
feel
like
like this was
there.
explained, and I thought it was had to
Yeah.
do with when they're on the carrier doing the experiments and trying to grow enough
Yeah,
they
that's
explained
the
the
thing that I'm.
payload question, and
So that's again. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I thought it had to do with essentially all those nukes they did to like basically power the astrophage. They could
Hmm.
only actually, like, just to boil it down, gather enough energy to go on the one way. I
So
thought
they
that
had to
was
get them.
essentially what
They
they explained.
they had to get them to. No, the nuclear things was there so they could create enough methane to dump into the atmosphere so they could keep the Earth warm. In order to make the astrophage reproduce at a rate that they needed to, that's when they covered the Sahara with solar panels.
Oh, okay.
Right.
But at some point they do this, like, and the physics say we need this much astrophage.
Right. So my
And then it's
question
this
was
grand hustle to, like, calculate how quick they have to ramp up growth. I mean, virus
right.
like multiplying
So my
exponentially.
so my question is if they were going to a solar system that has a ton of astrophage and they're already flying around literally through it, couldn't they have gathered more? If it's a resource, they knew how to
Well,
gather it. Why
um,
did they?
the
Why was
okay,
it so
so
different?
the book goes through that.
Okay,
There's a whole sequence.
right.
So it almost makes me feel like you didn't get to it yet.
Okay, fair enough.
Like
Maybe that's it.
like directly, like I literally have to say to you, I think they directly have like cinematic sequencing of a whole, to answer that question.
I think again, it's something that I might have overlooked. I think there's a reason why it needs to be bred versus collected. That's the part that I didn't really fully understand. Like I know I mean, okay, in the simplest way, my question is, couldn't they just couldn't they just scoop them out of the
Didn't
sky and
didn't you
shove them into the
explain
fuel
where
tank?
there was like the enemy to astrophage?
The predator. Well, that's
Yeah, the
later. They didn't know.
predator
They
biology,
didn't know
whatever
that.
it
Well,
was, an
they didn't know that
amoeba or
until.
some kind of, I don't
Well,
know what
that's
the fuck it was.
he finds them towards the end. That was the his at the present moment. I don't know what happens later, but the present moment, that's they think that's the solution to this whole problem is they find a predator for the astrophage. So, but they didn't know about that when they were putting the mission together. They just said, "Look, we only have this much astrophage. We're going to put this into your fuel tanks.
So,
It's
but my
enough to get
point
you
is the
there, and that's
concept of
it."
the predator is very significant. So, like, you'll have plot. If you don't know it already, watch, just be curious about the predator and read the story unfold.
That's what I'm thinking we're going to do. That's why I said I didn't want to ask this question until I got to the end. I
Yeah,
think there's going to be a more.
that's the most objective, non-detail oriented way I can explain that, because like the chain of thought that you're talking about has to do with that, as far as I'm concerned. But you mentioned knew it existed, so that's the only
Right.
hint I can say is just have that kind of curiosity to learn more about that
Okay.
predator.
Okay. All right. All right. Well,
Was that
I'll finish.
overboard, Jerry?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you didn't spoil anything, so that's good. I'm as confused as I was when I asked the question, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I think that would actually spoil you. Like, good curiosity is what I would say. Bravo. Keep on that.
Yeah, keep being an idiot, Skippy. Anyway, so
No, it's not idiocy. I think it just hasn't been explained yet.
I'm going to, I have to say, I was going to read after this. I was definitely going to read, oh God, what's the series of books that you gave me, Jerry, that I was
The
going to read?
children.
Right, the
The
children,
children.
children of time, children of whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Children
Yeah.
think
of
I'm gonna
Time.
hold off on reading that. I want to read his other book after I'm done with Project Hail Mary. His,
Oh,
Artemis.
yeah, I
yeah,
think I'm gonna. I have to
Yeah,
read
go for
Artemis.
it.
Yeah, now that
Yeah.
I'm reading
that's a
Project Hail
great one.
Mary, I
There's people
really,
in that.
really want to.
You'll have a
Yeah,
lot of character development.
mm, I badly want more of this. As soon as I'm done, like as I'm nearing the end of the book, I'm like, oh, I won't know.
Yeah, I
So,
like him a lot. I hope he puts out a new book soon.
yeah.
It's been a few years,
Although I will
but I'm
admit,
gonna have to
this
read
book
Hail Mary again.
this book is very much like I'm reading it and I'm loving it and I understand none of it. It's really interesting that it literally is, as Kevin put it, basically science mumbo jumbo, which is what it is to me. And yet, even though I don't understand what's happening or what the fuck he's talking about, I love every second of it.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be better if I understood it, but yeah. But he's just really good at explaining. I'm sorry, he has a really good style of writing. Where you're like, I don't know what I just read, but it was awesome.
I think it
Yeah.
pings something you probably did learn in like, geology 101, whatever geology class in high school and biology class in high school. Like
he
each of those
he gives
will
you he
pang
gives
a
you
little
little
bit of it.
breadcrumbs
Yeah,
of like
I know.
understanding. He sort of like he takes a couple of things and dumbs it down just enough where you're like, oh, I don't understand how they got there, but I kind of understand like why they needed to. Like when they needed to
Mhm.
make that gigantic chain in order to collect the sample uh, from the planet. They couldn't go close enough to um, they couldn't get close enough to the planet by something like 10 feet. It was something crazy. It was like 10 meters or something insane. But like they
Yeah.
needed to collect a sample from the atmosphere. He's like, if we go like another meter down, our orbit will break and we will crash into the planet and explode. So they had to put together those gigantic
I'll be honest, I don't
like
remember the
transformers.
details of that scene, but I
That
I
was
do
one of
recall that, and when it
oh, that's when
explained it,
everything
it made sense to me.
right. That's when everything goes horribly like wrong, basically. But anyway, but as he explains that, you're like, oh, okay. So in my lizard brain, I'm like, oh, okay. So they need to reach this thing. They can't get close enough because they'll die. So they need to basically create this device that is basically dangling on a long chain that basically lowers the device that can collect samples into the atmosphere, and then they need to basically maintain a certain angle in order to maintain the orbit to the planet, or they'll crash. Or if they do a slightly different orbit, then the chain will burn up in the exhaust from their rockets. Anyway, it's a crazy fucking sequence. That's
I
absolutely
mean, you
insane.
basically just explained it.
Well, that part, yeah. But the thing, but in the book, that's like 60 pages because there's so much more science to it. Because he explains how they had to make the chain links and how they and then how they had to connect them and how he had to go out there and like release
That's
them
what's
and then
cool, I think. He
yeah,
narrates it
and
very
right.
well.
Yeah, he narrates it well, and then the fact that he explains how they had to when he had to like bring the chain back up, how like the speed at which like they had to create a device that not only is bringing the chains up, but is also breaking the links as it's doing it. But he has to do it at a certain rate because if the links break too quick, then the chain will break and the thing will fall, to the planet. And
Right.
it's just like reading as you're just like Jesus, and he's so calm. The guy's so calm about it. He's just like, I'm just sitting there, like like just fucking
What
watching
makes it
the
impressive
universe.
is in practical real life, the theory rarely makes it to reality immediately on the first try. And what's
Who?
exemplary about this book is he covers the things that could be forgotten by the interaction with the alien. So that it's
Hmm.
like, oh shit, we're gonna fail this thing. I can't be 100% certain this will work. And then the alien will say, oh, but if you do this, but it'll be 100% certain because like that makes sense. So there's a lot of um his extrapolation is because he artfully projected what like another kind of alien race would be experts at, and then he
Hmm.
found a way to mesh those two, like let's say scientific expertise, the human expertise and experience, to the alien expertise, and they miraculously figure out all the, like they rolled the dice with like 20% chance to get it right the first time every time. That what
Right.
was, and he rode this edge of like it was scientifically plausible enough where you're like, oh
Right.
shit, that was awesome. It was like the um uh ratio.
Description.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right, for like thriller movies, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
where you're on the seat. He found that nice mix of scientific knowledge and plausibility to
Hmm.
make it kind of exciting. And that's actually what
Right.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Boy, he's gotten a huge review right now.
Eh. This this podcast is brought to you by
Our
what is
love
it? Penguin
for
Penguin Publishing.
Andy
Is that who
Weir.
does it? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think he needs our help. I think he's doing fine.
Let's move on to
Oh
other
boy.
sci-fi.
Oh man. All right. Well, you guys are on a roll. There's some things that I just noticed I had a note in here about something Trump related. I'm not even bringing that shit up. There's no way to segue to something that's stupid. Um, let's see. So,
I was gonna
I mean,
say, Starfield is a sci-fi.
well, Well, I have my usual game stuff, but I was interesting. I saw Kevin, you wrote something in the notes about Solar 175.
So that's
Well,
actually a
I
board game.
I wrote that
Oh,
Yeah,
for him.
he's I totally recognize and appreciate the like, hey, thanks.
okay. So you guys have two board games on here. Jerry has V and V, which I forget what it stands for, but
Valor and Villainy.
and you have Solar. So I would like to hear about both of those. Who wants to go first?
Kevin,
Yeah,
do you
what's the
want
vet?
to?
Oh, you want me to? Well, so when
I
I
could
went
go.
to
Yeah.
the innocuous the 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 vacation to visit Jerry that you weren't
Fuck
invited
you.
to,
Don't rub it in. Oh,
one of the things we did was up in the Rochester area, there's like a really huge board game store that just sort of moved to an even larger warehouse. So we,
It's the
you know,
biggest in the
when
nation.
yeah, it really is. So it was like, let's go see it because like if I'm here, why shouldn't I be at that store? So we're walking around and essentially I see this Solar 175. So we do a little
It's
quick
actually
research
it's
because
actually
I don't want
called
to just
it's
what?
actually called Solar 175.
Yeah, and
Yep.
Okay.
I'm a sucker for like sci-fi whatever thematic type of board games. I mean, it's just like you don't like Wingspan. It's like that's not your
Uh,
type of thing. But
all
like
right.
so
Okay.
but
Somebody
no
said
no.
wingspan.
Forget
Drink.
about that. On the flip
Drink.
side, you have preferences. Like you love Root and like some of the other type of games. So it's like
Maybe I
this is
really
one
did
of
just
those
get
ones I
burned.
was like, "Oh shit, is this like in my wheelhouse?" And I look up at reviews. I'm like, "All right, the weight isn't that hard, whatever. It's a little legacy, maybe it's something." So we bought it. So I suckered into it and bought it. That was a lot of rationality that I just had to put into there, okay?
Right.
We got one play at it, but it was like the last day where it was getting late and I had to wake up early in the morning to leave. And so we cut it short. We didn't finish the whole game, and it seemed rather basic. But keep in mind, it's a legacy, so I have this like curiosity. How does it develop? Because it's supposed to, as you unlock stuff, give you more complex parts of the engine. When you first start, you're just like generating more workers to place more workers to generate more workers. It's like an exponential. It's like a clicker machine. One of the video games, like a clicker, uh, whatever, where you're like, okay, how can I make more fucking cookies?
All right. I can ju-
So,
I can
so
just
like,
I can just sense Jerry getting the biggest hard on right now.
but what's interesting is
A
that it,
board
it
game
has
that's a
potential.
clicker.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, it's actually rated pretty decent. So,
yeah.
Yeah, I
um,
think one of the issues was we played us two players played a game that really should be played with four, and that could make a huge difference in the way a
mhm,
game plays.
yep, yeah.
I can
That
see
was the
that.
other
Okay.
thing we
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
realized was it's probably better with more people. I'm gonna
Yeah, I
probably
wasn't
introduce it
sure if
to
you
some of my friends that are
had a
local.
chance to do that yet.
Mm.
No, I haven't brought
Okay.
it up yet. This weekend was a Frosthaven marathon with um, a group that I played that game with because it's a campaign style game, and invited them to stay the weekend, like almost marathon style. That was fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like what do we played Thursday? We played The Thing, and
Wait,
that was
Thursday? How long was this little get together that I was not invited to?
no, this was after Kevin left. This is
Yeah,
my
it's his
like
local.
usually
Oh,
my friends get
He who will
together
not be
like
named.
yes every
okay.
every Thursday.
He's got a whole
Gotcha.
group that he has over. He's a little board game. Yeah, if you ever need someone to develop your sociability, and hire him, he'll set up all kinds of different people. Like when your daughter meets like a mom and a dad friend or whatever, you'll just talk up board games like you love to play it every day, and then eventually you'll find a person that like chimes in.
I got friends. I don't need your help. I have friends. I
Oh,
I, I know
oh,
people.
oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to
Yeah.
advertise and throw you
I don't,
like pointless ads that I know what you're into, but like I shouldn't know that algorithm.
when you're this when
Blink,
you're this good looking, you don't
blink,
need friends.
blink.
That's not why I drink.
Good times.
Here's to friendship.
No, but anyway,
I'm gonna have sex with this bottle one after this
Oh my
podcast.
God.
But go ahead.
it doesn't surprise me somehow. What was I saying? We played this game with like 6 people, and it
Which
was
game? This
The Thing.
the 170
The Thing.
solar.
No, The Thing.
It's called The Thing, like the shambling
Yes,
mound
like
in the swamp.
movie. And
Yeah.
no, that's the Swamp
Yeah.
Thing. This wasn't the Swamp Thing. This was
Oh, the Boulder
Thing.
guy of the Fantastic
the-
Four.
No, the
Oh
thing
my
isn't. No, the thing is a John Carpenter movie. What are you?
Yes.
Come on,
Anyway.
that was good. I got you there
Yeah,
for a
well,
second. I still don't know who the fuck you're talking about, but I still had you there for a second.
Yeah, if you think you're confused, then oh boy.
Yeah, but so anyway, it's kind of cool.
Is it actually based on The Thing?
100%. Like you're
Oh,
going
that's so
to the
cool.
The
outpost.
horror movie
Yeah,
thing.
you have to like it's super clever and a lot of fun. So
Wait, what is
like
it? Hold on a second. I've never heard of this. This is fun. I love that fucking movie.
Is this a
Yeah.
party game though? One of
Sorta,
those like
kinda.
spy, interrogate kind of thing. Like you can only ask certain questions, or is there a real
kind
board
of.
game?
No, it's a real board game too, where you're doing. So
is this from 20? Oh, it's an old one. It's from 2010.
No. This is like 2020 or 2022. It's only a couple years old. There's several of them, but the one that we played is only a couple years old, maybe 2020.
Is it called The Thing? Oh, it's called The Thing, the board game?
I think so.
Sure.
It's got to be because that's from 2022.
Probably then.
Yeah,
Put the link in the chat and I'll check it out. But anyway, so you have like the outpost and you're trying to go around and like fix stuff, like you're trying to fix the radio room, you're trying to fix the helicopter, you're trying to make a call out to someone who can rescue you. And so you're and like everyone has a different skill. Like the guy that I was Windows, and I could like repair. Yeah, this is totally it, Skippy. It was I could repair stuff better than anyone else. So you're all trying to get
Ooh. Oh,
get
who's doing
your that's Skippy probably putting up the website.
I was
Should
trying
I?
to.
Let's see what it
I've-
does. All right, it's
Yeah,
just
click
you.
on watch stream.
Hey, just be careful what you're showing.
Yeah. So
You got.
yeah,
I'm not-
so like
Make sure you don't have
I'm
private shit on the
character
left.
I'm not gonna
without-
open up. I'm not gonna open up Lemon Party. Don't worry. Can you guys see the game?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're looking at
I
your
was saying
stream.
each character has like their own special ability.
That's really.
Keep going,
gotta
keep
scooch.
going.
You gotta
So
scooch over.
like and it's so you're trying to like do stuff like find the flamethrower and find the wire or the keys and stuff like that. And one person randomly is the thing, and they know that they're the thing, and no one else
so
does.
Yeah.
So it's totally it is one of those. Okay,
Yeah,
that's cool.
and
I
have
like those games a lot. I know you guys don't. I'm surprised you guys usually don't have a preference for
no.
those.
This was
No.
I
this
think
was
these
a
games
lot
are
of fun.
awesome.
This was a lot of fun.
So like, well, all right, I'll get to it later. But I love this kind of like one. What's the name of this whole? There's a name for this genre.
1v many. What?
Yeah, and there's another name for it, but yeah, basically, like
it's not hidden
imposter or
movement.
whatever. No, it's like hidden
Is
imposter.
the
or
thing?
something
Oh,
like that.
Yeah, the imposter. Yeah. Actually,
love
I
those
love
games.
asynchronous games where there's like one person versus many. Not
Yeah.
necessarily the social clue type of shit, but there's one called Beast, which is really fucking awesome. And I've only
Yeah.
played actually as the Beast. It's basically you move on a mini version of the map, and like these hunters have to find you. and everybody has goals. It's actually really fantastic.
Hmm.
Clue
That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun because like after each round, everyone like picks someone to accuse, and like you're the thing, and as you do that, your suspicion goes up. But then you could get a blood test, so to make sure and that you're human or not. And it's just funny because like if two people are in the same room at the same time, both their suspicions automatically go up. um and then you're basically whoever has the least suspicion when they can get on a helicopter gets on a helicopter, and they have to decide whether or not to let the next person in this like suspicion line on or off the helicopter. And the
Hmm.
humans win if all of the living humans get out on the helicopter, period.
Hmm.
The alien wins if the alien manages to get on the helicopter and get out, or if an actual human was left in the base. So it's a lot of fun. It was cool because we're all like, you're the alien, and like, why is he doing that? Is that suspicious? It's like if you watch the movie, it's like everyone's suspicious over about everyone else, and it creeps its way into the game in a really fun way. It is definitely cool.
See, I don't understand. How come I can never get you guys to play this game? Like I was begging you guys to play Project Winter with me, and I showed it to you,
Wait,
and you guys like, no, I don't know, it's not our thing. Blah blah
I
blah.
think I've played that
Project
before.
Winter. Yeah,
Project Winter.
Yeah,
I
It's
don't
exactly it's
I've
that's
played it with
exact.
Cody and
Well,
Elsie.
it's on Steam. Wait, you have Project? Oh, okay. Well, there you go. This game looks awesome. I was dying to play with you guys, but
I don't
you need.
remember you begging us to play that.
I went through a phase when I wanted to play these kind of games. It was
Oh, I
like
didn't play that game.
uh yeah, I don't get straight point. When
Maybe I
like
did a little bit.
I still think Among Us is really fun with friends, but like Project North
Oh,
is that but on
Oh, you're
like
talking
even more
about a
advanced.
video game right now.
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sorry, I should have clarified
You
that.
like
Oh,
segue
you
to video
shifted
games.
from. Yeah, I didn't get that the
Yeah, sorry.
shift from board
Yeah,
games to video games.
that's my mistake. Sorry, I should have made that more clear. Yeah, Project North is a video game. Yes, it's on Steam. And it's exactly that. You're basically stuck you're stuck in a base um, um, in some snow covered, I don't know, part of the world where everything's cold and freezing, and basically like there's like a helicopter coming to save you, and you have one imposter who's trying to kill everybody and sabotage the mission, and everyone else is trying to fix like the communication things and the helipad and whatever, and the obviously the imposter wins if he kills everybody, and the people win if whoever escapes, or if they find the imposter and kill him. It's supposed to be a really fun game. I've seen a few playthroughs of it. It's really really cool, and it has that kind of thing where like people can communicate, like so distance from other players matters. So like there's vocal communication, and the people can only hear you if you're within a certain proximity of them, and vice versa. And there's other things there's like bears and other things that exist in this world. They can try to kill you, so as you're trying to gather resources and try to repair the equipment that you need to escape. So it's
That's
really cool. Yeah, it's a really really great game. The problem is I think you need something like looking at their site now, I forget how many people you need to play it. So a lot of times you wind up playing with randos because you need something like fuck, I don't remember how many people you need, but you need like 7 or 8 people to play this or something like that.
yeah. That I would not want to play that kind of game with just like randos out there.
That's right. So that's the problem. That's kind of why it's a bit limited and why like it's a popular game, but it's definitely not as big as not that big because yeah, it's harder to get a group that big to play, and it's not as fun if you have a smaller group. And the same thing with Among Us. Like you could play Among Us with with a handful of people, but if you get like 10 people, for example, it's way more fun.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Anyway, I forget what I was ranting about, but anyway, this board game looks awesome, and I want to play it.
Yeah,
Actually,
it's a lot of
how
fun.
many people? So, how many people did you have playing it?
We had 6, and I think you could go up to 8.
Yeah,
And
that sounds about right.
I think it would have been even better. This is a game that absolutely the more people, the better. And like, I don't know if it would have been good with fewer people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely fun. And a friend of mine gave it to me like a year ago. He's like, we got to play this, and it took that long to get
Yeah.
everyone together at the same time, and so
Sure.
Oh, you know what? I also played a board game this week. Well, not this week, last week though, with people at work.
wow.
Yeah, this one is also a very like complicated and highbrow game. You may have heard of it. It is called Throw Burrito.
I have heard of
Wow.
that.
That's right.
That's
I
hilarious.
look. I'm surprised. I get it. You guys don't want to play. It's a very intellectual game. It's very. It's on a whole
No,
nother
that's a
level.
party game for sure, and
Yeah.
it's
It
a
is a
lot of
party
fun.
game. It was
I
fun.
actually never played it, but I've. Mhm.
I had to literally twist people's arms at work to get them to play it, and everyone had a fucking blast. It was really fun. Like it is a great party game.
Yeah, yeah. There's a
Very
bunch of
simple,
them
very easy to
that
play,
every
but
once in a
yeah,
while the group that I'm with will like gather people and do like code names and that
yeah.
that kind of game.
So these guys, they're the same ones who made what is it, Exploding Kittens? It's the same people who made
Oh,
that.
yeah.
They have this Exploding Kittens, and they just released a newer game, which is actually part of the sale that I sent you guys earlier today. They have a game called, I think, Loud Librarian. Uh, you should look it up. It's really, it's also like complete fucking chaos. It's a party game, but it has to do with
Excuse me.
it has to do with coming up with like I can't even explain it. Just look
I
it
can't
up.
remember
Just
either.
go
I
to
know about. I've heard of this before, but I can't remember it.
just go to Exploding Kittens, and it has to do with you being able like you come up with categories like cheese, and basically like you have two teams, and as you go around the board, you'll come across the categories. Like the example they give is like cheese, and what you have to do is everyone on your team has to as loud as they can yell the types of cheeses or whatever they come up with, and that every time somebody comes up with it, moves your piece one more. And the other team, by the way, is trying to do the same exact thing at the same time. So you're basically all just screaming at each other.
That's some Gouda fun.
Oh my
uh,
god.
Oh, what? He could do it before, but I can't? The fuck?
you ruined it. You ruined it. That's it. You ruined it.
Don't be that guy.
Oh, you
ruined it.
you ruined it. Uh,
Oh,
that joke is
right.
not going to age well. Anyway,
No. Oh yeah.
that was a cheese pun too. Dickheads. Anyway, so all right, so fine. So we have solar. Okay, I don't know if it's the wine speaking, but Jerry, did you actually talk about your game? What is it? Vasectomies and
No.
violence. What is it called?
No, valor and villainy.
That sounds way more like dark and
No, it's actually just the opposite. It like the artwork in it looks like it came from like Orcs Must Die.
Hang on. Okay, sorry, one more time. What is it again?
Valor,
Oh,
Valor,
Valor.
VALOR, and villainy.
Is it called? Wait, Valor and Villainy, Minions of Morduk?
Well, technically,
Mordek.
this one is the
Mordek?
Ludwig's Labyrinth.
Oh, come on.
What?
Ludwig's Labyrinth.
Oh, Ludwig's Labyrinth. Oh, that's the new one. Man, you just can't fucking buy games that are more than a year old. All right, hold on. Oh, okay. All right. So, there's not a lot of pictures of it because it's such a new fucking game.
It's on the website. That should be fine.
It's on the website.
It is. I'm saying there's not a lot of pictures.
Oh. There's I mean, you don't need that many. But anyway, it's in the base form, it's a co-op game.
That looks great. Can you see it?
Yeah,
Yep.
it reminds me of Orcs Must Die somehow.
Yeah,
That's
it does look
exactly what
kinda
I said. Like not 30
Oh,
seconds
I was
ago.
totally paying attention to something else
Yeah. Oh.
while
he's
you
still
started the
So
recovering.
conversation.
Give him a break. He's recovering
yeah.
from your horrible cheese pun, okay?
It's true. What was it?
All right.
No,
All
no.
right. Anyway, go ahead.
Keep going, keep going. So is
There's
there
only like
like
there's only like
okay?
5 or 6.
So this is cool. So you're go back. I didn't say just go. No, go back the other way. Go back the other way.
A little to the
This way?
left, a little to the right.
You know what? Hold on. I'm watching. Oh, I'm watching the stream, which but I'm not
You
watching
dumbass.
Discord. So
Ah, here we
I'm
there
gonna.
we go.
Oh wait. Okay.
Dumbass.
This is of
Yeah,
course when the
this is it.
drug when the
This
drug
is the
when the
one that I
drugs kick
wanted.
in. Yeah.
Thank you.
Whee!
Stop it. So this is kind of cool. So this is this is a player character, but the bosses are the same too. You have these 3 stats. You have melee, ranged, and magic. And there are different dice. There's white dice, which are like half ones, half blanks. These yellow ones have like a blank, maybe 3 ones and a 2. And the
Mhm.
reds are half 2s and half 1s. And you basically roll these dice that you have, they're effectively your skill, and you get a value. And you do stuff like damage based on that, or that's how much mana you get. There's a bunch of,
I feel like I've seen this.
it's like a
Holy shit.
dungeon crawl kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel
Okay.
like I actually saw this once. Holy shit.
Like
There's no
there's a
way.
campaign mode, or you could just like throw everything in and just play the game. It's relatively quick. It's fun. Like there's like cheesy humor in it that the game doesn't take itself seriously, but it just makes it a lot of fun.
Mm.
And I was playing it co-op, but also the original game, the Mordok one, and an expansion to this are one versus many games. So like if we're playing with like 4 people, one person could be the villain, the bad guy, who play very different than the
Dude, that's
player
awesome.
characters.
This
And
game
then
looks
it's like
awesome.
all the players.
Yeah, it looks really good.
It's actually a lot of fun.
Might
Like
have
we've
to
gone
pick
through,
this
I
up.
think 3 or 4 4 games, playthroughs. It has a tutorial that takes you through and like introduces you to the the game mechanics and everything. Yeah, it's a
Huh.
lot of fun.
This is
That's
great.
awesome.
This looks really this looks really
Paladin
Yeah.
cool.
ability.
Hmm.
I'll have to put a reminder for myself.
And like there's it's funny, cheesy, munchkin-y kind of humor in it.
Oh, that's great. That's my favorite. That's awesome.
Yeah.
This looks really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was Kickstarter. You probably went through all this already.
Uh,
I bought it at Millennium. I
Oh,
didn't get the Kickstarter version. Well, I don't know.
gotcha.
Maybe it is. It's like it's a big box, so
Holy
maybe
shit.
it's the they had the the
Was the
retail
big box like
Kickstarter.
freaking $200?
It might have. It was definitely. It might have been like 150. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Man, these games are getting
Games
fucking
are getting
expensive.
crazy. Oh, let's close the stream.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
because it's
like-
also they're also so they're so big now. Yeah.
Noble Knight Games has it.
Did you guys ever
Oh,
look
shit.
into that game that I shared with you guys? That I said I wanted to. I still kind of want to back it on Kickstarter. I can't tell. It's only like $50 or like $55, whatever. I mean, yeah, that's not including VAT and shipping. But
Oh shoot! I
that
think. Keep going.
the old
I
King's Crown.
That was
I
a
don't
video
know.
game, right?
No. This is a board game that I thought looked really, really freaking cool. It's on
Oh,
Kickstarter now, and there's still time to back it. It's still got like a couple of weeks on it, but I can resend it to you. I thought it looked really,
Yeah,
really
send it
neat.
again. I'd like to
It's
take a
it's
look at it.
basically the premise of it is basically there's it's one of those like the king has died and now there's like
Old
multiple
King's
factions that are
Town?
fighting for the
King's
throne.
Crown? Old?
the Old King's
Yeah.
Crown.
Oh,
A
okay.
Tale of Royalty, Rebels, and Blood. So basically, what you do is it's seasonal. So there's like three seasons: winter, spring, and summer. Is there three seasons?
This
No,
looks
there's
pretty
four.
fucking
There's
amazing.
there's one called Fall. We're actually in it
Yeah, yeah,
right now.
yeah. Thank you. No, but I'm sure as far as the game is concerned, I think that there's. Hold on a second. There's gameplay. So there's start of the year, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. All right, so it is four seasons, and you have different actions through those seasons. So there's different things you do in those seasons, and then the results of your actions for each season um, uh, determine basically who wins and who takes the throne. And in each season, you do different things, but it's cool because it's like so like in the spring you send out your like scouts and everything like that to like scout do their scouting thing, and then they don't like return until like the fall, for example. So like as you plot and you try to strategize how to retake the throne, you know, there's all these things that are kind of happening at the same time, but it also
Ye-
the consequences of each season don't
Yeah.
happen immediately. Like they'll like it takes time for the results, like for the results of your actions to come back and count for whatever you're trying to
It
achieve. So
looks pretty
it's really
beautiful. It's a
Yeah.
good
That
looking
oh the
game.
mechanism
art yeah
This is very
yeah the
that
tempting.
artwork
Like I
mechanism
might be willing to back
I'm
like
I'm
the
just thinking of
deluxe
backing it
plus
honestly.
expansion, or what are they
Like
calling it?
the yeah,
Base
it's a
game plus
beautiful
Wild
looking
Kingdom
game.
expansion. Wow. I'm gonna have to watch the
Yeah.
YouTubes. I don't want to. I'm trying to watch how many I do because it can get freaking crazy. Um,
that
but I think this is appealing enough to watch, and then maybe I'll bring it up
that
to people that I know because they tend to peruse all this bullshit, like the really knowledgeable, in-depth rabbit hole of board games.
So it says on BGG it has an 8.2. If that
Wow,
tells you
I guess
anything,
it's
I don't
been
know.
play tested already.
Oh yeah, oh it's been play tested to hell. Yeah,
But
there's already a
for
bunch of YouTube
BGG
videos
to
of them.
have some, how many
I also think anyone
Oh,
can
and by the way,
put
you
like
can
a
play it.
rating, like if they're like, "Oh wow, that looks great. I'm gonna give that a 9." Boop. I don't know how,
Uh,
you know.
maybe it also has it's 1 to 4 players. You can play it by yourself.
mhm.
Yeah, a lot of
Apparently,
games
so
have
far it's
a solo
3.17
mode.
weight, which is a little heavy, but that sounds pretty cool.
So that was my next question. So the weight of it, the 3.7, would you consider that to be pretty complex then?
Mm, sure. Let's see. How many
Or is that
voters?
not
Only
complex
12
enough?
people have voted, and um, it's like a rating system from people. So who knows what people think is heavy versus light? But
Yeah, well,
apparently
we actually
66%
had this discussion on.
percent think it's in the middle.
We actually had this discussion about the weight of it. I actually
Yeah.
think the weight rating on BGG is kind of crap, but
You just want to, I think it needs higher samples. It's just a poll. Once you have like a huge sample of people, you can sort of rely on the rating more and more. But right now it's only got 12, so that must be like early play testers. And essentially, it's somewhere in the middle, weighted slightly high. All
I'm
right,
gonna
if you want to
play it
believe
here.
the 12
I
people.
just want to show some of the
Yep,
like. Look
I
at the
just turned it on.
sorry, just like if you look at the artwork of this game. This game is freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, and I like I'm assuming those are like wood,
Yeah,
workers
yeah.
or meeples.
There's so I don't think those are worker. They actually stand for for other things.
Yeah,
They're not like
yeah, I'm sure.
workers. They're more. I think they're more to do with resources and things that you discover. But
Sure.
yeah, the more I'm looking at this, the more I think I'm gonna back this game. I don't know who I'll ever play it with, but God, it's just fuck. I feel like honestly, it's one of those things where I'm paying like $50 for just beautiful artwork. Like, look at this.
Well,
It is pretty
God,
impressive.
if you get
yeah,
the base game.
yeah,
And
yeah. I
an
think I'm gonna buy
8.2
this.
is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah. I'm gonna.
amazing, but like again, how many people did 8.2 for the breakdown? Let's see. Oh, quite a bit. 64 ratings with a standard deviation of 2.
Well, Jerry
19
did say
people
that I
by
think that
far.
anybody can give a rating, so it might not be
Yeah,
that
it could have
reliable.
been like but like to see 64, that's pretty cool that that many people Let's see. Is lean sprawls outward instead of focusing on it. It's a lane
All right.
battler.
Well,
Oh, that sounds amazing.
yeah. Okay.
Oh
Anyway, I
shit.
shouldn't have shown you this. I shouldn't have shown me this. I shouldn't have shown you this because now I'm actually right in the middle of backing it. Yeah, I'm definitely going to get the question is to
There's a
get
good
the.
chance I do this actually. Now that I'm
I don't know if
in it.
I don't know if I'm going to get an expansion. I'm always weary about just buying an expansion before I play the base game. But I think I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to get
started to
the.
become that way too. Now that you mention it, I'll never. I got burned by Oh, what the fuck is it called? Dominations.
Oh
I shouldn't
yeah.
have done the deluxe. I didn't like any of those expansions. They sucked.
We like the core game, right?
Yeah, the core game was actually pretty beautiful
I love the core. I love the
with the
core game. I've
triangles
only
going around. I like that.
having only
I
played it a
didn't. I
couple
thought
times,
the
unfortunately.
this. I think there was maybe a cities expansion that was okay, but once they did those roads, those cardboard moon shaped things that you like the what is it? Not sigma? No, like the ohm symbol cutouts. Broke so easily. It was the stupidest design. Just to like
Hmm.
wrap around the
Oh yeah, I know what you're
cities.
talking about. Yep.
And then I didn't. I
Yeah.
never even tried the other ones. I was like, there's plenty of complexity. It's actually really fantastic, and they sort of like ruined it with all that extra shit. And then of
Okay,
course the
well,
Kickstarter had like those special rabbit versions of the monuments, and I was like, all right, now you're just getting silly because you
yeah.
think you're being cutesy.
Well, just so you guys know, I'm now out $64 plus whatever VAT and shipping. So I'm guessing this is about going to be about $100.
Probably.
Good for you.
God damn it! I need to. Fuck. You guys are terrible. You really are terrible. You are like the worst drug dealers because you don't even sell me the drugs. You're just like, dude, you should do drugs, and I'd be like, cool. Do you guys know where to get them? And you're like, yeah, there's this website where you can get
You
drugs, and I'm
realize
like,
I didn't
wow,
pull the trigger
these
yet
drugs
because I
look
want to watch the
amazing. Let me
YouTube
buy drugs.
first. I just have more experience resisting it.
Hold
Actually,
on. Whoa,
you
whoa, whoa.
probably do
Okay,
because I have a lot, and I just bought
really?
Solar
Yeah.
175.
You spend more on board games than I do on my mortgage. Are you fucking kidding me?
Oh,
Like,
I don't know about that, but
I
I know what you're
just
talking about, Mr. Dramatic.
I'm pretty sure if you take the amount of money you spend yearly on board games, it probably will be how much I pay for my house.
I'll,
I think that might apply to me. I probably wouldn't
Oh
deny
no,
that.
no, 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 Jerry, you are way beyond that. You have you are like walking a fine line, like where
I can stop anytime.
we may need to have an intervention.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
I
right.
just got uh and if we didn't play if the guy that lent me the thing wasn't around this week, we would have played it last week. But I got what it was called,
holy shit, this is
City of the
fucking
Great
awesome.
Machine,
Oh,
and
you
that
did or
looks.
didn't play it?
No, I didn't play it.
Yeah.
Like if, but that is like a cool, neat little game. It's like a one versus many thing where like you have this like clockwork steampunky city, and you're trying to lead a revolution against this AI that controls it, and like you kind of
Oh
like plan out your
fuck.
turn ahead of turn, and
I
then
have to do
like
the all in.
Dude,
and then
as you explained this, Kevin is basically like trading in his 401k for fucking
Dude.
board game.
All right. Oh my god.
but like
Whatever.
so like
What?
the
Yeah.
players reveal their intentions, and then the person who plays the AI does theirs, and like shit happens, like the city rearranges itself then, and so like you thought you were going out this door into this room to find this person, and now turns out you're going the other way, and it just looks cool.
Yeah, sounds like that's neat. All right. Well, I'm not going to look it up because I've spent my monthly allowance on this one board game, so that's not going to happen. Speaking of which, my expansion for what is that game called? Shit, do I have it here? Here we go. For Hidden Leader. Yeah, Hidden Leaders. Is it Hidden Leader? Yeah.
Oh, did you get it?
Hidden Leaders
Mhm.
expansion. I should be here actually. They already started shipping them, so it should actually be here pretty soon.
Oh, that's
Nice.
Oh, I'm
awesome.
so excited. Fucking love Hidden Leaders. What a great goddamn
Yeah,
game.
it sure is, and I can't wait to get
Mhm.
it also.
Takes no time to play it. It's so much fun. I love it.
I
Again,
didn't
it's
see
like
my
be-
announcement
beautiful art.
because I ordered that too.
Oh, you backed the expansion too?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's very cool.
I gotta look it up.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I can't wait to play it once and then never again. Um, I, actually, you'll be happy to know I may finally have found a board game playing circle. So
No,
Right
yeah,
home.
that's cool.
Be sure to write
yeah,
home.
maybe.
Who's this?
Actually, it's a couple of people from work. One of them who's recently fired, and then a couple of like friends of friends kind of thing. People that I've met.
Yeah,
They seem like cool people. So
yeah.
I may, God willing, maybe in the next month or so, I
Ooh,
may actually get something going.
Nice.
Yeah.
that's
Uh,
great. Join the
it, it,
join
it,
the
see,
the.
I told you I have friends. Maybe.
Sure.
All right. These are women I
So,
ordered from Russia.
one guy just got
Yeah.
fired, and you're like, "Hey, I'll pay you to be my friend.
Basically, yeah.
Play
He said
games with
she.
me, and
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
feed you." Okay.
Hey, like, hey, man, you want health insurance? I got you. I got you.
This will make
Anyway,
it all better.
so yeah, so some very cool board game stuff. That's great. I'm so glad that board games are like becoming or have been steadily growing as like a mainstream thing, and more people are getting into it.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, some of the like honestly, the best friends are all like board gamers in my circles. You
Oh,
guys at the top, and
I'm
like
not a
the local
oh, that
people, and
includes
then the
us.
distant
Okay,
people, and it's like I'm just saying they tend to be nice people.
people you mean who are into board games?
Yeah,
Yeah, nerds.
whatever.
Yeah,
They're my
of course.
circle.
Yeah, yeah, of course. Nerds are the best. Are you kidding me?
hmm
Yeah, yeah.
See,
Because we have nothing else.
flag.
we
Woo!
Yeah, we don't have yeah, we have we have nothing else going in our lives. So we're just like, yeah, man, we need that escapism, and board games provides the best of that because you have the social aspect of it,
That's
and
what I
you
was gonna
have
say. It's still social.
the yeah. No, it's great. Yeah, I actually yeah, and I actually think some of the social skills that helps build is great. One of my it's funny, one of my friends back from Philly, he recently got into Dungeons and Dragons.
hmm
And you would, if you ever met this person, you would never, it's like the last person you would expect to be into this kind of thing. Like he's a little bit of like too cool kind of guy, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
sure.
Like
Mhm.
I know what you
travels
mean.
and he's a little
He
shallow
met
about
somebody, and then the
relationships and
next thing you
something.
know, hmm
And then, yeah, out of the blue, I was talking to him the other day, and he's sort of like, in that finding himself kind of stage. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I recently started doing Dungeons and Dragons with this group that I found." And he's like blown away by it. He's like, "This is
He
amazing!" Like
he
the social
came
part of it. He's like, "It's
as a
incredible."
nerd.
Yeah, no, but it's remarkable because it is not someone you would ever picture doing that, and he
Mhm.
discovered it, and he's absolutely hooked on it. So
I just did
that's fine.
combine Dungeons and Dragons with board games, and you get something like Frosthaven, where I just had um the three people that I do play Frosthaven. Our campaign is rolling, and I just had them over at the house for to stay over for like marathon style. Did I say that already? No, I don't think I did.
No,
So
no,
it
you
was
didn't.
like great because everyone sort of wants to make some kind of food, and you do like four missions in one day, and it has a sort of like cool, have fun all day, um, bring lunch and dinner, people bringing lunch and dinner, somebody whatever. It's
Yeah,
just normal hanging out.
yeah,
It's
and
funny
it's a
because that's what I
very
used to do with my kids for a long time. I'd go on vacation, and we would rent an Airbnb and just freaking marathon board games. It's like the funnest
that's the
shit.
thing. There's no that's easy to break through those age barriers. And the other thing is like, like yeah, I always bust your guys' balls about like buying all these games, but board games is still one of the most like one of the affordable hobbies you can possibly have. Like of all the things that people get obsessed
Yeah.
with, board games is not that bad, and it has more benefits to it than let's say, I don't know, like a cocaine addiction, or buying sports cars, or being into cameras, or doing something lame like playing golf or fishing. Like that stuff is.
Dude, I was just explaining to somebody who basically had no idea what I was talking about. And to boil board games down into layman terms, actually like I most people are like, "Wow, that sounds really freaking interesting."
Yeah,
I just never heard of that. It's like weird to encounter that, but I don't know. I'm sure there are people who don't like it, obviously, but
I have to say that in recent years, more the people that I run into, if I mention to them like, "Hey, you guys want to do like a board game night?" or like, "Hey, you guys into board game?" People are just like, "Yeah." If anything, there's more people looking for opportunities to do that than there are that would find it like odd. I also think it's the kind of thing for me personally. Like as I'm getting older, I'm better at filtering out the people that
Sure.
aren't
Right.
aren't into the same
yeah,
things as I am. I
right.
talk to them for a few minutes and I'm like, you're not, whatever.
Hmm.
So that when I do bring out board games to people that I'm a little closer with, they're like, yeah, fucking let's do it. This sounds awesome. That's,
And then you have an
it's a local
enjoyable
price.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Bring beers. We had like mimosas with like mango orange orange juice and shit like that.
brew. So yeah. But when you're not playing board games, oh God, I don't even know if we should transition into video games at this point. I feel like at this point I'm the only one that plays them in this little group.
That's not true. I beat 1,000 hours in um what the fuck's the game I play a shit ton of.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
Kevin,
even
you
fucking remember.
yeah, Kevin, you used to
Overdrift. Oh my
log
god.
you
That was
you used
just
to
old man spacey for a second.
you used to log insane hours in video games, but lately you've been sort of, doing other things.
All over the place.
Yeah, there
Well,
you
but
go.
mostly board games, quite frankly.
Oh,
A couple
I
other
yeah.
actually
sociable
That's a
activities,
good.
but
That's a much better way to spend your time. I'll be honest. But I did want to. Sorry, Kevin. I wanted to update you. You asked me a question. Last time we had a podcast, I was talking about the RoboCop game,
oh yeah.
which by the way, really is cool. I played more of that,
Oh,
and I watched more playthroughs of that. You
did you find it? It's located in some corner of the city.
what the I'd buy that for a dollar thing?
Yeah. Is that what you're
Unfortunately,
here to
no.
report to me? Oh
Yes,
no.
it's only a hidden reference in the game. It's a trophy you earn when you do something. You get the "I'd buy that for a dollar" trophy. There
That's
is no
hilarious.
other mention, but there is a lot of other mentions of the movie. There's a lot of like cool shit that reference the first two movies. Um, Actually, some of it is really clever. I played the demo and I only played a little bit, but at this point, I'm actually thinking of buying the game. There's a lot of really like when the game gets going, it gets really fucking good. It is remarkably faithful to the movies. Like if you like the RoboCop movies, you will like the game. It's not a typical first person shooter. It's very different from the rest of them. There's no like dodging, weaving, hiding, cover base shooting, none of that. You are literally a tank with a gun and you're just making your way through the storyline, just fucking mowing down people left and right.
I
That's it.
mean,
That's all it's it.
sure. That
Yeah, I
it
mean,
actually sounds pretty cool if
you
I just
can't
want to
die in
chill
it,
and
but
like
it's
watch
very
the
hard.
movie sort of barely interactive mode.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's cool. So it's supposed to take place after the second movie, and I think I mentioned this
I
before. If
think
you've
it
never
was
seen
on sale,
the
right?
third movie, you can wait. It just came out. I'm sure. I'm also pretty sure it's going to wind up on Game Pass at some point. But uh, I actually played it on the Steam
Oh
Deck,
yeah, 50
and
bucks.
it's not $50. Rogue
On
City,
Steam
is
it's
it
fifty
$50?
dollars. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe. It's honestly, it's a pretty big game.
Shit.
Okay, here's my suggestion for you. If you want to try it, get the demo. The demo is actually really big. I was pleasantly surprised how much content is actually in the demo. You get a ton of stuff. Like there's hours of gameplay in the demo. So that's cool. There's a lot
Maybe
of
I will check
there's a
it
lot
out.
of there's a lot of references to the films. So it's
Oh,
good.
Inkbound. I
Uh,
don't know if you heard Inkbound had a huge like um
Update?
update. I think Inkbound
No,
2.0 or something like that. They basically abandoned all of the in-game currency mechanics and
really.
like refunded anybody who
Oh.
paid with certain things, rebalanced a whole bunch of shit and made it so like you can earn everything and just sort of like went straight awesome game.
I may have to check it
and
out
I've
because
only
I
heard
like
good
it.
things about it.
Yeah, it gets really good. It gets gotten really good. I liked it. I liked it a
But
lot.
even now,
It's one
it's
of the
like considered better.
That's cool because I remember, yeah, so I remember when they came out because the game is still in early access. When they launched, people had a problem with the way their shop was set up. So it's nice to see that they
Yeah.
listened to them. They're supposed to be
Yes.
really nice devs. Like Monster Train apparently is a very much loved game, and it's the kind of thing where the developer listened to community feedback and like adjusted the game based on what the players wanted. And now Monster Train is considered to be like a really great game. I think I'll pick up Inkbound at some point. That was fun.
Recent
Trying to think like
reviews
what.
overwhelmingly positive.
Oh yeah,
389.
yeah,
Very
I'm not
positive.
surprised.
1300.
I will say
It's
again
awesome.
though, it is a way more fun game when you play with your friends. As a co-op, it is a
Yeah, of
blast.
course. We should
Yeah,
do that.
it is. Yeah, yeah. Trying to think.
What
Oh,
is
speaking of
this?
Steam
What
Decks,
is the
by the way,
sporting
I did put
content?
that in the notes, but dude, what the fuck is going on with Steam Deck like quality control? I literally just got an email during this podcast that they're sending me my fourth Steam Deck at this point because I've had to send them all back. I bought this thing over a month ago and I've gotten a total of about 4 or 5 days of actual playtime on it.
Jeez.
It's been great. I love it, but what the fuck?
I don't
Like
know.
three
I've
in a
bought
row with
three and
major
none of them had a
problems.
problem.
Are you serious? None of the three you bought had any issues?
No, one for myself and one for each of my
Yeah,
kids
I
as
mean,
like
good for
a
you, man.
graduation present.
So, just to catch everybody up, my first one had busted haptics where the right haptic was loose and was vibrating violently inside the case.
Oh,
I
that
sent that
sucks.
back. They sent me a brand new one. That one had a dead pixel on the screen, which I almost overlooked. I was almost about to let it go, but then like it's weird. It's one of those things that just was eating away from me because you only saw it when that part of the screen was black, so not very often. But when it was there, it was so fucking obvious that it was just like I couldn't take it. So I shipped it back. The new one arrived. It looked good. I turn it on, and the speaker starts squeaking in my face. No matter what I did, is just
Yeah.
this squelch just coming
I
from the
remember you
right sound
mentioned, yeah.
speaker. So I sent that one back, and oh my god, I think I'm gonna give it one more try. If the next one arrives busted, I'm gonna call it a day, and I'm gonna go out there and buy myself that fucking Legion Go, and that'll be the end of that.
I probably wouldn't have had a problem with the pixel thing. I've seen that happen before, and I've kind of like, I don't know if I had a laptop one time and I was like, fuck it, or something, but
I had a laptop that developed it
you
over
can
time.
kind of
So
like
that
phase it
that
out of your thought process unless it's
That's
like a
so,
dead
but the thing
spot.
that makes me concerned about it is if all the ones that I bought had that many issues, I'm like, fuck, how many issues is like if I actually get one and it doesn't have any problems, what kind of problems is it going to develop over the life of the thing? Like it
See, now
seems like
you just believe that they all have problems, so you're hyper aware of problems of the Steam Deck. So like any Steam Deck you ever look at will be like, oh, flaw, flaw,
right,
flaw, flaw, flaw,
right.
flaw, 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 flaw.
The issue is that once you start Google, so every time I've every time I've gotten one and I looked up, like has anyone had this like problem? It's been like thread after thread after thread. Like when I got the haptics, everyone's like, "Oh my God, yeah, dude, I'm on like my seventh Steam Deck. Like all my haptics have been fucked up like crazy." When I had the dead pixel, everyone's like, "Yeah, most
I
of them
didn't
come
say
with a
they
dead
don't
pixel.
exist.
Good
I'm
use
sure you
this."
found,
Yeah,
other people
it's
claiming the same
it's
things.
every problem that I've had that I've looked up, it wasn't like one thread on Reddit. It was just like thread after thread of just that problem. So,
But out of a million units sold, are we talking about, 10,000?
well, dude, what are the
1,000
chances of?
people?
Well, that's the thing. If I had one that was broken, but what are I mean, three broken ones in a
It's
row?
just your lot in life.
Well, no,
That's kind of,
no,
I'm kind of trying to doom shape it a
no.
little
That's
bit just for
that.
ironic potency, but
But that's the
that
thing.
does fucking suck.
If you look through these threads, there's a lot of people with the same luck as I am who are just
Sure.
like, I'm on my fifth one. I'm on my. The one guy was like, I'm on my ninth one. It's like they keep sending me
That's
Steam
great.
You're
decks, and
only
every
halfway there.
single one has a
Keep
problem.
going.
Yeah, great.
Become
So
the top rank.
I think if the next one is broken, if the next one is busted, I'm just gonna write them an email and say, hey, it's probably costing you guys a lot of money to keep sending me new Steam decks. Why don't we just cut it off here? Just give me back my money, take your Steam Deck, and let's go our separate ways
Only
as
you, Skippy.
friends. I
It's
know, I
it's
know.
like literally your lot in life.
It's yeah. Well, usually I'm pretty good with that. It's most of the times when I'm a semi early adopter and things work out pretty well with phones, with tablets, with laptops, with other tech stuff, with EVs. Even I've had pretty good luck. Not gonna wood. Now, oh God, now my car is gonna fucking burn my house down tonight while I sleep. But overall,
What
I've had
did
good
you
luck with
just
it.
invoke? Your
Yes,
magic.
I'm gonna be on Reddit today and be like, how to dispose of your family's ashes.
Did you
But
forget what
it's
I told you about, running a long extension cord to your car from your house?
yeah. So good news, I didn't do that. So we may still
Excellent.
survive. Anyway,
Well, then
so
that really is
I'm
good
just
news.
I'm just disappointed. I was very excited about finally getting a functional Steam Deck, and there you go. But again, from what I've used it, the thing is fucking impressive. They've done a lot of work. Even the battery life, man. I have to say
Yeah.
that the battery life was one of my biggest problems from the beginning. And when I did use it, man, I played. I mean, I wasn't playing anything like AAA, so nothing terribly intensive. But playing an indie game, I had
When
like
I had
five
COVID, I would
five
play the
hours.
shit out of it. It was
Yeah, I
nonstop
played it
for
for
hours,
hours
and then I would take a
for hours
nap
and
and
hours.
yeah.
Yeah. And when I did Xbox Cloud, holy shit, that thing like lasted like all fucking day. I just I played Starfield for like a day.
Oh wow. On that
You know,
tiny
so it was
monitor?
great. Oh yeah, it's great.
Oh,
It ran.
games like that I really like to have like the whole thing. I really got to invest in a higher than like
No,
a
that's
high
fine.
resolution, 120 hertz type of monitor because I think I would really enjoy it. I'm just so lazy and like for some reason I can never motivate myself to spend the money on that.
The reason I got the Steam Deck is because of my current situation. It makes it easier for me to play handheld versus other things. It's harder for me to sit down at this point on the couch and play.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I love to play with my huge TV. Starfield is incredible on that screen and is a completely different experience, but I would still love to play it when I don't have access to that, and it runs fantastic on the Steam Deck. So I
So
have
then
no
you put the
complaints there.
Steam Deck in the Steam dock, hook that to the TV, and then get the Steam controller dongle, put that in the dock so that you
You
can
said
actually sit at the
dongle.
couch with just the Steam controller and actually
Right.
play the Steam games on the TV
Uh,
but through the Steam Deck.
right. Except I have an Xbox, so I can just press one button and then press two more and
Or
play.
actually just do Steam Link, which is hilarious because
But
I
I
think
don't.
actually Steam Deck would run better than Steam Link, which is ironic because even your Wi-Fi isn't going to let you
I
like stream from the computer fast enough. Or
except I have an
Xbox.
Xbox, so I don't need to do any of that. But yes, if I didn't have an Xbox,
It's
yes,
funny,
I
I
would
can
be
play
doing what
Xbox
he's
from my
doing.
Steam Deck that's going through the Steam dock to the Steam
Yeah,
TV with the Steam
I
Link
can
as
actually,
backup.
I can actually play just Xbox Remote, so I can launch Starfield on my Xbox and then do Xbox Remote to my Steam Deck. So I'm not even playing through XCloud; I'm playing it through my
Wait,
Xbox.
wow, that was actually more mind-boggling than what I was trying to freaking hyper mind-boggle myself. You're telling me the Xbox can stream
Oh my God!
from the Steam Deck?
No, it can Steam. It can stream. The Xbox can stream to the Steam Deck.
Oh, the Steam
So
Deck would be a client of the Xbox.
right. So if you wanted to do something
Yes,
truly
I got
ridiculous,
it. But
what
why
you
wouldn't
could
it would
do,
be more PC version over the cloud Xbox,
no, it
not
would be the
directly
Xbox.
from your
No,
Really?
no. Stop. I
Yeah.
launched the game on my
Yep.
Xbox. I'm playing the
Yeah.
Xbox version of Starfield. I
Uh-huh.
then stream that to my Steam Deck through a client. So I'm playing the Xbox version of
The
Starfield
link.
on my Steam Deck. Now, if you
Yeah.
want to go really nuts, you can then put your Steam Deck into a dock and play it on your. You can play the Xbox version of
From the
Starfield.
Xbox upstairs
Yes,
in the office can stream
yes,
to your Steam Deck that goes on the Steam dock to the TV where you have
yes.
your remote Steam controller and where you're sitting on your couch at a
Or
different
or
TV.
to or to really
That
make
is
it
some
crazy, why don't
that
you use
is
your Xbox? You can use your Xbox controller with your Steam Deck to
oh,
to
Bluetooth, I guess.
yes.
Actually,
So
it's
I can
USB. The Steam dock
yeah.
can put the USB right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
with only
fantastic. Plus, I have
so
one
with
of those
only
long cords that can reach
with
to
only
the TV.
three unnecessary steps, two televisions, and a whole bunch of lag, you can play the Xbox version of Starfield on my shitty TV upstairs. Yep, worth it. Gonna do it next time. All right. Anyway, I don't even know. But Kevin,
So fucking.
ideally, what you want to do, if you could, is you could plug in one of them fancy VR glasses into your Steam Deck, and then you could just
Oh,
do
Oh
that.
shit! I gotta get that
nice
workspace
segue.
glasses. I'm so this close to yeah, maybe
Here's
possibly thinking
here's my
about
actual
getting
question.
one of those.
Watching what those VR glasses can do. I forget, what's it called, Jerry? Remind me. Air Max? Is that what they're called or something?
Someone did a picture comparison
Yeah,
with
air
the Ray-Bans
something.
one, which is a Meta
No, no,
integration
no,
versus
no,
the
no. That's a whole
iPad
other thing. Dude,
whatever
dude, dude,
Pro glasses.
dude. The Ray-Ban glasses have no, those are just smart. Those are just like smart glasses to get like notifications on. That's a whole
There's
nother thing. Don't
cameras.
even. Yeah, but they're not meant for this at all. That's a whole
No,
nother
I'm
thing.
just saying somebody compared the camera taking capability of the glasses. That
Okay,
blew it away, by the way.
that doesn't make any sense. That's like comparing a flip phone to a supercomputer. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, what I'm saying is that while I was looking at the comparison between what the Air Maxes can do and what the Meta Quest can do, I don't understand why you wouldn't just get the Meta Quest. And by the way, this is coming from somebody who would never give up an additional penny to fucking Mark Zuckerberg and his shit goddamn company. So I would never buy a Quest for that reason. But if you're actually considering like buying AR VR glasses, I have to say, man, the Quest 3 is at a whole nother level from these Air Max things. It does
Right, but
way
isn't
more.
it like, yes, but you're wearing a big thing on your face, right? It's the same form factor as the
No, the
previous
Ray-Bans
ones.
is just a
Yes.
glasses like you're wearing on
Oh
your
my God.
face right now
No,
with
no,
a
no,
little
no,
Dude,
bit
no,
thicker.
dude,
forget the
dude, dude. We're
Ray-Bans. Dude,
talking about two different things.
forget the Ray-Bans. The Ray-Bans are we're talking
You're
about the
talking
Air
about full
Max
VR
and the Meta.
glasses?
Yes, I'm talking about the big
All right.
VR headset, the Quest 3, the one that
Sure,
just
sure,
came
sure,
out.
sure.
The
I mean,
things
that's not where I
that can
started, but
do.
okay, sure. You're on a different lane.
Okay.
Okay. I'll
Yes.
readjust.
Right. So forget the Ray-Bans. That's not even in the conversation. Anyway,
X-Real, that's what it is. X-Real Air and then
X-Ray Lab.
X-Real Air Pro.
Yeah, those are okay, fine. So I'll give you the fact that they're more like glasses, but outside of the fact that they just look like normal glasses. And okay, here's the thing. You're never going to wear them outside the house. You're never going to wear them out in public. So who cares what they look like? Like, yeah, the Quest 3 is probably a little heavier, but I have a feeling that if you actually want to use them the way you described for like work, I don't think either one of them is going to work for that. So I would recommend actually, if you can try both, try them both. But I think for what you're going to actually uh, going to end up using these for, I think the Quest 3 is way
See, I don't
like
want
ahead
the
of
VR
everything
stuff.
else.
I was looking for glasses. I'm not even interested in buying the VR glasses.
So what do you I don't so what do you want then? What are you trying to okay, what are you trying to
So,
achieve? What do you want to do?
Jerry, what was? Let me find that link. What we were
The
looking at
Quest
when I was at
the
the
Quest
secret
3 does
hideaway.
the Quest 3 does AR and VR. It does pass through as well.
No, no, no. Okay, hold on. Recently, I was looking for workspace glasses, like just basically monitors on glasses.
Well, you
Um,
can't there's a lot of options for that, but you have to be careful with the ones you buy because you're going to get ones that are going to strain your eyes and make you nauseous. So you do
there's
need some.
prescription, like so that you can have your normal focus range, and then the image that's presented is at a focal length of like depth of that range, so that you're not focusing on an um like it where you need your prescription if you have any kind of eye discrepancy.
Okay. I
Like I would have to get a prescription for the glasses. They have like a
uh,
little glass in front of the monitor part.
I have a feeling you're going to wind up creating way more problems for yourself than you're trying to solve. Like you don't you
You realize it's
I don't
meant
think
to have like a 320-inch monitor in front of your face. It's just virtual. That's all it is.
Okay. Try walking up to like that close up to a 320-inch monitor and see how easy it is to work on. It's not. I'm telling you, this is not going to
You
solve any of
realize
your
the
problems.
size of it is out, like all the images you're looking at are manifest out to a projected length. It's calculated.
Do you plan to read on this thing?
I was I was I thought it would be cool to do like work on Excel spreadsheets and all kinds of fucking
Huh?
shit on a huge workspace.
I highly
I
recommend
have
you
no
do some
idea how
research.
well it is. I'm
I'm
like
telling
kind of
you,
really curious.
do some research on what it's like to read text on these things. It is very bad. Even on the better ones, even on again on something like the Quest 3, trying to read text is very difficult and a huge
I
strain
hear
on
you.
your eyes.
I'll take your word
Yeah.
for it.
You don't have to take my word for it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ask
No, but
ask
I
your
will
A
read.
ask
It's a
your AI
good
buddy.
point, is my point.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will look that up and try to see if I can figure
I
that out.
would say at best these things are decent for entertainment, and that's about it. I don't think for 1 second these are ready for work.
That would suck.
It's an
They
it's
have
a
like
novel. They're
head
novels.
trackers where the monitor stays put and you can sort of like look at the screen at the different angles. That's what I thought
So
was cool.
they have this. Okay, so they have different modes. They have modes where yes, the monitor stays put. So if you turn your head, you turn your
Hmm.
head away from the
Hmm.
monitor. They have ones where it follows you and the monitor is floating wherever you
Yeah.
look. And they have one that's in the middle where if you move your head, it slowly like pans over to where you're looking. So it's supposed to be like less jarring. So it kind of moves with your eyes, but not immediately.
There
Like
was a
it's not
third one
stuck
that
into it.
they explained where if you went to the side, it's like it would move it quasi out of the way for some reason. I'm trying to figure out the use case for that one.
Mm,
It's like
yeah, I don't know either.
if I go like this, am I supposed to be looking past it somehow? Like it turns this way?
I think they don't know the use cases for all these yet. They're trying to give you as many options, seeing what people end up doing with it, and then
Sure.
sort of building off of that. It's still relatively new, and it's
Where
still
was
such a
that link
niche
that you sent me,
thing.
Jerry? Did you do that in Signal?
Which one? The
When I
video of the
when I was
guy
at your
going
place, the
through it,
monitors we found,
Oh,
the
oh man.
glasses,
or just the glasses?
the glasses.
Like the glasses website? Yeah,
Yeah, I
I don't
keep forgetting.
remember. I'll have to find it again.
Okay. Well, while you do that research, is there any other topic that we wanted to cover? I know we were going to talk about Loki, but since Kevin is not caught up yet, I don't want to spoil anything for him.
Yeah, sorry.
Um, yeah, no,
It's one of the
no.
shows I want to watch um with my wife, so it's like I don't watch without her. It's just there's a couple. There's a lot of shows she doesn't want to watch and a lot of shows I want to watch that or shows that she likes that I don't want to watch. So it's like when we have a couple we like, we
Yeah.
do it.
Speaking of
We
shows,
see.
I'm actually kind of pissed off. So apparently the next season of The Boys is going to pick up almost immediately where Gen V left off, which
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh,
it does
really?
make yeah, but that makes me now go, great. This is going to be another one of those fucking things where I have to watch 10 shows in order to know the story, like wow, how they have like Marvel and Star Wars set up. I'm not fucking doing that. I'm just not. I love The Boys, but I'm not going to watch like other shows to keep up with the story. Like I'm just
Oh,
not.
I think it
I
was
may
the
just
broken.
I may watch the synopsis like I may like I did this time and maybe, but overall, God, I hope they're not going to do this whole fucking cinematic universe thing with the boys. Please don't fucking ruin it. Consider the fact that the boys mocks the MCU and things like that. It'd be really weird if they suddenly did the same exact fucking thing, you know. And as I mentioned when I talked to you uh, previously, Jerry, I gotta say Gen V seemed like after watching the synopsis, I'm pretty glad I skipped it. It was okay.
I
Like
enjoyed it.
it seemed all right, but like nothing I really would want to sink any time into. It is very, very derivative of New Mutants and Gen X. Um, Basically, they just took those storylines and made them hyper violent. So, like, all right. It was also predictable
So
to the
better.
point where, like, I mean, that is true. I definitely agree there. As I'm watching the synopsis, basically halfway through the synopsis, I already knew how it was going to wrap up. Like I was like, oh, okay, so those guys are that they freed from was that research facility called
The
the
Woods.
Woods? the woods. Like, of course, they're going to go after the humans, and there's going to be a split where some of them are going to be fighting to protect the humans, and other ones are going to be fighting them. And then, of course, blah blah blah. And I'm sure since it's part of what's the name of the company
Vought.
Vought, obviously, Homelander is going to probably blah blah blah, and then I bet you anything. There's going to be a credit scene with the people from the boys who discovered the woods and all this stuff, and basically that's exactly what happened. It was a very predictable like ending and a very predictable storyline because it's just been done basically. So
Sure. I don't,
so
yeah.
they're
I mean,
they're getting
I
they're
get
getting
that.
heavily into the whole X-Men, very heavily into the X-Men thing at this point. So it's not. I mean, it's like I said, I still want to watch the main show, but I'm not interested in another fucking cinematic universe. I'm really not. But that's just me.
Yeah, honestly, I don't
Did you hear
mind so much.
MCU is doing a pivot?
MCU is doing a pivot because there's a lot of problems with the MCU right now.
Yep.
Besides the fact that they might be pivoting away from Kang the Conqueror or Kang the Destroyer, whatever is the Kang character towards Doctor Doom because of the legal problems that the actor is going through. So apparently the
So
backup
then
is
he can wear a CGI mask for a while.
yeah. Well, people are just like I don't understand why you can't just recast him, considering the fact that he's supposed to
Well, I'll
be
say this. I
very
was
different.
in if you
Yeah,
want to
I
talk
get that.
Loki just a little bit, I just got to the part where they met his variant. And then like that whole sequence.
Wait, what?
Wait,
That's in
from
season.
like season 1?
No, right now. The new one. The odd variant where the variant does the like old school display like a Tesla type of
Oh,
display in
You're talking.
Chicago.
You're talking about
Yeah,
Time
Loki.
Lee, whatever his name is. Yeah, yeah. That's not the Loki variant. That's the Kang
No.
variant.
Yeah, Kang
Yeah.
variant. That's what I was talking about.
Right.
Sorry if I
Right.
misspoke that.
Yeah. 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 Okay. So okay. So they met him, but okay. So you're still like in
He
episode
just
3.
at the end of that one episode. Yeah, it is relatively in the beginning. I'm sorry. I know, rag all you want.
No,
But
that's
he
fine.
just walks back to the TVA
Okay.
through
Right.
the
So you're
portal.
okay. So
That's
you're
the
two.
end of
Okay.
that episode.
So you're 2 behind. Okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to say it because there's the next 2 episodes are
So much.
But it's
Yeah.
super
are
fucking
very
exciting, actually. I think it's really awesome. It's
wait till the
riveting.
next 2 episodes. I'm telling you, dude. Wait till the next 2 episodes. You're in for quite a change of pace. Let's put it that way.
And then I gotta figure out, like, so we have
So
the
good.
Marvels somewhere around the corner. We have Echo somewhere around the corner. What else?
Oh, by the way, I also think, and
I think that's
they're going to
it for
pivot
the year.
because, and I will
Oh, I guess
say I
next year.
called this a year ago. It's looking like the Marvels are going to be a gigantic flop, which I actually said that I think that the Marvels movie is going to be the first, there have been a few movies that have been kind of disappointing financially, like Ant-Man, Quantumania didn't do well.
Yeah,
Guardians of the
but the
Galaxy
worst
3 did
one,
well.
it's still.
Yeah. Eternals didn't do well, but
Oh,
Marvels,
Eternals.
I
Oh,
think.
fuck.
Right. I think Marvels is going to be the first one that's legitimately going to be a complete fucking
Worse
bomb.
than
And
Eternals?
right now, it's tracking worse than The Flash, just so you know. I'm telling you, the Marvels is going to be a complete disaster. It's going to
That's
completely fucking tank.
I mean, worse than
There's
Eternals
no one.
is a is a pretty high benchmark for being worse. And then,
Well, the Eternals
the
wasn't
dark, whatever the Thor movie was, that
Oh,
whatever
yeah,
it's
yeah,
Oh
called,
no,
that was
no,
just
no.
really
Those
bad.
movies, they were okay. I'm not talking about how badly received or reviewed they were. I'm talking about how bad they did money wise. Like Thor: The Dark World, I think that's what it's called. Still made a ton of money. Eternals still made it was disappointing, but it still made a good amount of money. The Marvels is just going to just completely bomb financially. It doesn't matter how well it's received critically. It's going to tank. It is going to completely lose them an insane amount of money. And so between the fact that
I wonder if it turns out they're all variants of each other.
So there was a belief that Loki was going to be their way to reset a lot of things because they realized that people are just kind of burned out on what they're doing. There's also now talk that that they said fuck it, and they're actually bringing back the original cast of the Avengers for more movies because they
Yeah,
realize
I
that they
heard
can't
that one. That's weird.
they they can't. Yeah, apparently Robert Downey Jr. is already signed on, and they're trying to get everybody else back because they realize that they got rid of them way too early, and nobody gives a shit about what happened in Phase 4 and Phase 5. So they're fucked on
That's
many
actually
on many
sort of
fronts.
disappointing to me. Like, I mean, I get it, and it's cool, and if the stories are good, it'll be fine. But I was happy for new content, and I didn't
I was
mind
happy for new content, but
Quantumania, and I haven't minded
ugh, oh,
like
Quantum
Loki's
Mania was
okay.
horrible.
I mean,
Ugh.
Loki's actually fantastic.
Yeah, Loki's
This
great.
season,
Quantum Mania was trash. I
supposedly
hated Quantum.
Echo is fantastic, which is all MA rating, and uh,
Oh yeah,
like gonna be
if they were
crazy.
smart, since they have all those properties, Daredevil and Punisher and Luke Cage, if they just brought back that same like formula that they did for the street level stuff, um, that Netflix did, that'd be fucking awesome.
Yeah,
They
I
can still
think
turn them
the
into the
Echo
main stories,
series is
but
supposed to have Daredevil and the Punisher floating around in the whole series.
uh, there's talk that there's going to be at least
Not to mention
cameos from
Kingpin.
them. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I actually didn't like the Echo character at all, but having seen the trailer, I really want to see the show. It looks really freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't I think I probably watched the trailer, but I don't remember the content. I'll have to go look at it
Yeah.
again. But like the people talking about it are sort of raving, and
So here's the
I
thing.
don't
So the other stuff is you're talking about them like
pour
rebooting and
over it.
pivoting. Yeah, the
Yeah.
fact that they decided to make the Echo show like a very violent MA rated show is a good sign. The fact that they completely restarted their work on the Daredevil show because they realized it was too campy and corny.
Yep. Yep.
So
I heard
they're
that
making
too.
that better. With this whole stuff with pivoting to Doctor Doom, the bringing back the original actors, the fact that the Marvels is going to bomb, the fact that the Loki thing has some things in there built in to reset the entire thing. Like I think they're going to do some major like course correction in the
Well, I
next
mean,
year
that's
or
what the
two.
articles are literally confirming.
Yeah,
They're saying
yeah,
exactly that.
yeah. Because it's a it's a very steady decline.
Mm.
The like I said, Quantumania didn't like bomb, but it did very poorly. And here's the thing: the expectations for Quantumania was way higher. They actually thought they had an amazing movie on their hands. They expected it to do really well and basically kick off this new phase with Kang and get everyone really excited. And the movie did very poorly, was poorly received, and everybody was like, "No, thank you. We have no interest in any of this." And as more things come out that are connected to this new storyline, they all sort of like fall flat. And like I said, I think this whole thing with Marvels is going to be like the final straw. Like that's going to be it. So we'll see.
Cool. Ooh,
Yeah,
shit.
I'll be honest. I'm so fucking burned out on the Marvel shit. I'm almost at a point where I don't care. I'm barely keeping up with the Star Wars thing. So I mean, Ahsoka was great.
I gotta
Don't give
finish.
it that.
Yeah, I gotta finish
Yeah,
Ahsoka
that was
too.
enjoyable.
Oh my god, you haven't finished Ahsoka either. Jesus
Not
Christ.
yet. Damn it. And that's his mine.
There's some shows you have
Anywho,
no excuse.
don't
I'm
say
just gonna
that. I
mention.
hate that.
I'm just. I'm just gonna mention. Stuff.
Oh yeah, that one. I can't wait till I finish that one too.
Which one?
The
The
Last of
Last of
Us.
Us.
Oh, jeez.
He's got one episode left.
That's wild.
No, no, I don't.
Yeah,
I have way
he
more
did.
than that. Are you kidding me?
I thought you told me you were at the. Which part are you at? What's the last thing that happened in Last of Us? You don't remember.
They are taking the girl into the wilderness. They find out what she really is, and they're
Okay.
scared of her in like that scene where they're in like that warehouse trying to survive against the guy that was chasing them, and they're like reluctantly navigating outside the
What's
city or whatever, the danger zone.
what's you mean with Sam and his brother?
Uh, no,
The
I have no
the
idea who you're talking about.
who you said they? Who's they?
Hold on,
You
I
said
want
they
to look
took
at the.
you said they took the girl and they know what's happening. Who's they? Is Tess still alive?
The Pedro Pascal character and the
That's
woman.
that's
Oh,
true.
and then she sacrifices herself to blow up. You
Okay,
know what
so
I'm
you've
talking
seen
about?
okay. Right. Oh yes, I've seen the show. Yes, I do know
Yeah.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't
So
know
that
what
was in
episode
episode
that's in,
two.
but it's
That
not
was in
towards one before the end.
that was no, that's not. That was the end of episode two.
Let's look.
So you are, oh my
Bella and
God.
Frank.
It's
No, no.
very possible that you are still in episode just in the beginning of episode three, which yes, you're pretty far from the end. All right. Well, while you figure that out, Jerry, is there anything else you wanted to cover?
I don't think there's anything that demands immediate attention. No, it's been a while.
I mean, it's such a...
We're pushing
Yeah, like 2 hours, 15
two
minutes.
plus hours. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was while you were doing your research, Kevin, I was implying that we should wrap it up.
Yeah.
I was figuring by the time you figured out, you would look back and me and Jerry would be gone, and you would just have a black screen staring back at you.
And then in the background, somebody's just hitting crickets,
Yeah, basically.
and like Kevin's just going and going. 1,000 years later.
All right. Well,
SpongeBob
I
memes
have
forever.
I can save the rest of my stuff for next week. Jerry said he's all done. Kevin, you got anything else you want to cover?
Nope. I'm just as tired as you guys.
Well, yeah, that was
I'll
good.
be
There was
The
a lot of
Last of
science.
Us after
That
you
was a lot
guys
of.
leave me all black screened.
Oh my God! All right, that was a lot of good sciencey stuff with some board game talk. So I thought that was productive, and also there was a cheese pun from Jerry that I will never forgive him for. So overall, a good night, I would say.
Oh, I missed the cheese pun.
Yeah.
Fuck.
No,
Or I
you
forgot it
didn't.
already.
Oh, oh, Kevin.
Was it Dopey a good show or something?
It was a joke on the Gouda.
It was? I did miss it.
Yeah. I wouldn't say you missed it. But
I'm gonna have to fucking watch the podcast again.
you would remember it if it wasn't for your Swiss cheese memory.
That was cheesy.
All right, that's it. I'm not doing a fucking. I'm not even doing a closing thought because that's it. Kids, this is why you don't do drugs.
You ever see the TikToks where there's like really like
No,
ready to burst
The answer
dudes
is no.
doing
I don't
dropping
watch
dad
TikTok.
jokes? It's fucking hilarious.
I don't know.
And it's
Nothing
more
on TikTok
hilarious
is
because they're
hilarious.
trying to hold it in and they can't stop themselves from cracking up over the stupidest fucking joke.
It's all fake. If your question starts with "Have you seen the thing on TikTok?" my answer will always be no.
Dude,
I have
knock
not.
the culty revolution that is happening on TikTok. Come on.
Oh please, TikTok is dead. Nobody uses
Whatever.
TikTok anymore.
Reels.
MySpace is where it's at, baby.
I saw like a commercial with like they're like, we're TikTok grannies. These like 75-year-old.
There's all kinds of
ladies.
circles
We, like,
and hashtags in TikTok. It's actually fucking hilarious.
Whoa, hold on. TikTok has hashtags? Holy shit. Let me get right on that. What's this new hashtag thing you're
Dude,
talking
everything
about?
has hashtags. Come on.
Yeah, I know. That's my point. Thank you. That's my point.
That's a common vernacular. It's just
I
a
know.
tag. But when you type it in, you put a hash in the word.
Oh my God. Yes.
Come on, get with the times.
TikTok is the best.
It's just
Anyway.
fucking syntax at this point.
Actually, that's my closing thought. Kids, don't use TikTok. Don't use drugs and don't use TikTok. No, you know what?
Dude.
Use drugs. Don't use TikTok. Drugs are
Dude,
better for you than
they
TikTok.
fucking got their act together. They're the ones telling all of us, and we're like, wait, what?
Oh, get out of here. That's crap. TikTok rots your brains worse than meth.
Reels.
Reels
Excuse
is
me.
a rip
Amen.
off.
Same thing.
I will admit I do watch Reels. I will own up to that.
Dude, same fucking
But
shit. Shorts, Reels,
Yes.
TikTok, all the same fucking shit. They all actually cross-pollinate because they want more viewers. So it's if you find content creators that you like the stupid axe guy or the even better axe woman, like you know what I mean, the lumber people that are like freaking just chopping in like and looking good at it, whatever.
Is it safe to call them lumber people nowadays?
Sure. I'm just collectively saying all the different kinds of people using
Wait,
that
hang
meme
on.
to be
I
like
was gonna
talking
hang on.
and just
I was gonna wrap this up, but now hang on. What kind of weird lumber sex thing are you watching it? What the fuck is this?
That's a lumber party.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
Anyway,
We got your
kids don't let
hardwood right
kids
here, buddy.
do doom
So
scrolling.
you gotta, because you have to split your log before you serve it.
Oh my God. That's right. This one's tough to split, right? Like you get all kinds
Yeah,
of stupid jokes.
yeah, I get it. Oh, you know what?
And then you personify it and it gets even worse. Because, you're dealing with wood.
I don't because I don't watch this, but I'm very curious what sort of weird community you join on TikTok.
No, it's just random shit, dude. It's just shit that eventually crosses
Is
your
it like
path because it's got a high enough probability.
Is it like the Get Nuts podcast, but they just use different like types of wood? Like today
I don't
today
even
we're
know what
like
that one
chopping
is.
Get Nuts. It's from Magic Tavern. Is it
Oh,
like are they like today we're chopping oak, and then like we're chopping I don't know any other trees.
maybe. You're talking about like
Walnut.
from the jokey, the style of joking, probably.
Well, yeah, I'm just curious. Do they just have different wood
Because
that
we
they chop
started
every
talking about
episode?
puns, it is sort of in that vein, right?
I guess. I don't know.
It is.
All right. Okay.
Other
Well,
people might say differently,
These
but
we'll
it's
nuts.
fine.
we'll cover more of this on on the next
We'll
episode
leave you
because
hanging
now,
with all that doom
yeah,
scrolling.
right. Okay.
Friends don't
Well,
let friends do doom scrolling.
mm. Okay. Anyway, so I still stand by my do drugs, don't use TikTok closing thought. Anyone else want to say something before we sign
Oh,
off?
I don't mind that. That's fine.
Yeah, I think you've said it.
Yeah,
I think you've said enough,
go
Kevin.
go out and vote tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I am actually. I am voting
Yes.
tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah,
Nice.
me too.
Good work.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's only 2023, but I'm gonna write in Trump for everything. Well, we got a city comptroller, and I'm just gonna be like Donald Trump for city comptroller.
Oh my God.
Make city controlling gritty. Whatever the fuck city controllers do.
We should like go and put
They're control
Adam
freaks.
as a write-in, and then sue the comptroller that he's not eligible for becoming a comptroller.
Yep, this is all gonna work out great. Uh, anyway, yeah, I'm gonna vote tomorrow. I don't know what I'm voting for, but I gotta do some research about who I'm gonna vote for. Actually, in my neighborhood, I don't think it matters. I think a lot of people are running like unopposed. I know our mayor is running unopposed. Um, he's a fucking asshole. So, but hey, he's a Democrat, so I guess we're okay. Anyway, all right. Then I guess that is all for tonight, gentlemen. Thank you as
Oh,
always for taking out
you.
the time
Yep.
It
Thank
was
you.
fun.
to talk
As
shop.
Let's do
always.
ending soon.
Yeah, I'm glad
Most
I'm
of the
glad I did this
jokes
so that
are
I
done.
spent $100 on a board game. God damn it! God damn it!
I might spend £100 on a board game. See,
No,
I
yeah,
almost forgot about it, and I would have like went, and the Kickstarter would have run out, and I would have been like, "Damn it, I missed it."
but then you can do the late pledge thing that I could have reminded you of. So
Maybe, or you
anyway,
scour for like the retail companies that buy like 5 copies, 6 copies, or some shit.
no. All right, I'm gonna go
All
talk to
right.
my wife and tell her I just burned $100 on pretty cards and meeples.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
See
Good
you
night,
then.
gentlemen.
Good night.
Have a good night.
This has been a production of
It's just me.
Studios.